What's your beef? Why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The madman. The madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment. Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome for an interesting stream. Wow, there's 21 people watching already. Smash the like button.
Every
I'm going
time
to have to
Andy
start...
Signore says
What's
brother, I laugh.
No, I'm delayed. I gotta update that to make it more fire, that intro. Now,
Please don't take out that part.
I am going to have to criticize a friend. I'm going to have to criticize certain things, and I want to do it fair and civilly.
Oh, you're not even going to dip your toe in the water. You're just going to jump right into it, huh?
What? What do you mean?
I just thought you might want to say hi to the chat and everything.
Oh, no. Listen, when I do start a stream, I get right in the topic.
Okay, I'm in. Let's go.
No, I do want to address, I do have to go. There has been an update that I want to clarify too. I am not calling, there is some accusations of Syl being a little bit of phobic. And I want to address that right now because I do not want to go that route unless there's proof of it. And I want to be calm when we discuss this and be professional, civil, because this kind of stuff on the internet gets crazy. Is that fair, Eddie, Devin, Isaac, Chris? We want to be careful calling these things out. I do call geeks and gamers and stuff out when they actually show prejudice and bad behavior. I do not want to put that, especially on a friend.
There's a big difference between what those guys do and what Syl does. So
yes,
I wouldn't even compare the two.
So I want to address that first because there's some valued people in our community, Austin and Bradley, who we love, and I want it. Unless there's other proof,
As
which
long
I
as
will
we've
address
got
later.
that out of the way, man.
This is what I assume is what's going on from this tweet here, and this is what I assume is what they're referencing, and. Okay, see, calm down, RJ. Calm down.
That's unless you perceive it, though. That's the thing.
Unless you have other proof, this is what I think is being considered first. So, first of all, I am going to criticize Syl tonight, but I do not consider this being all right. Let's. This is Austin. He's using his freedom of speech. I love Austin. I love Bradley. They're beautiful. I love what they bring to movie talk. For someone that's such a big supporter of the Snyderverse, I don't think you'd be happy to know you're a phobe, and we have to be careful when using these terms on a stream too, and using his name as a grift. And this is the comment: "Hey, stop tagging me, you effing clown." Now, if you know you don't like someone on Twitter and you consistently tag them, I'm not criticizing Brad or Austin. But that can be considered aggressive, right? When you know someone doesn't like you, you're consistently telling you. And it says F you and your boyfriend. And yo boyfriend, okay? I do know Bradley hasn't got into this too much. I do know that.
I don't think he's got into it at all.
No,
I don't
but
think
I do.
He's got into it at all.
I do know that he has said things on a live stream that's been extremely critical of Syl. But I do know the more aggressive of the two is that alien. He likes to say alien Austin, alien and bread. So I think my interpretation of this is I see you and your boyfriend criticizing me consistently. And I will tell you this, Syl gets lots of receipts from his audience of sending who says what, who says that. That's my interpretation. I don't consider this my personal self is attacking him for having a boyfriend. You know, I don't. But let's get Bradley. Bradley is on Team MME. Okay, let me see what Bradley has to say. I avoid these morons at all costs on stream and on social media. It's not worth my time, but somehow I still get dragged in here. So fair enough. Bradley's opinion is that he's getting dragged into it when he tries to avoid it. So that's fair. But unless there's more to this, I don't want to start saying Sil is a, okay. Or are you tagging him the last few weeks or days though, Austin? That's all. I just want to be careful.
I see it a different way.
Okay, go ahead, Eddie. Be discuss it. Yes, go ahead.
I'm just saying the way I see it, since he's obviously, I'm talking shit about him. I see it the way, maybe this is the way I interpret it differently as well. But the way I see it, I don't know why you're acting so tough and trying and being all manly since you have a boyfriend. That type of talk where it's like you're acting so tough, but you're gay. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
I mean, it's both of us are coming at it from a way because we're both straight, but to them too, it's like, why even mention that?
Exactly.
I am not bringing this up to cause any more issues, but the only other instances where I say, that's kind of uncool, Sil, and I still like Sil, is that Casey Walsh, and I'm not a fan of Casey Walsh, okay? But he says he calls him a beta, and he's like, oh, and you got your pink hair. That proves it. So that's a little prejudice to me, a slight. There's something there of substance. But I don't want to go down this route when I criticize. So I honestly don't. I'm just addressing it because it's becoming part of the conversation.
I just don't even know why they brought Bradley and Austin into it in the first place. And tagging someone is not, that's just engagement. That doesn't mean you're having conversations with these people constantly. These dudes are like, oh, Bradley and Austin are attacking us.
He did today.
Okay, today. So what? That's enough to get a fuck you. I mean, whatever. It's okay. I don't care about the gay part. Okay. If Bradley and Austin take that as offensive, I don't care about gay or straight. Bradley and Austin
even the G word.
Why? Why? Gay's not a bad word. Those are two gay men.
I know, but it's YouTube, Chris. Oh my God.
Okay. Well, there are.
I don't have
my point is there are friends before there anything else, and I'm gonna have their back no matter what on this. So.
Okay. All right. No. Listen,
I mean,
Chris,
I know they don't need anyone. Listen, I know they don't need anyone to protect them.
I'm not here for censorship, but I'm just saying we'll instantly.
I understand. I didn't know that was a.
Yes, I know all the tricks. Word. Yes, it is. Yes,
that's so stupid.
Well,
okay.
no, it isn't.
Wait,
because
what?
Certain streams they love to say that as a negative. That's why certain people like to consistently use as a negative, so the YouTube has a that triggers them. All right. Well, Bradley. Listen,
I wish they were on the stream. All I'm saying is those two have always been good to me. So there's no way I'm not going to have their back.
I'm basically, this is like Robert De Niro in Meet the Fockers or so. I see you two. I see you both. He's well aware of people that don't like him. That's what I don't particularly like it. I'm not ready to condemn him on this when he says you and your boyfriend, whatever. I love both of you, and I'm trying to take the temperature down here. Devin, you're a very smart, intelligent person. What would you say? Final thoughts on this before we move on. I want to take it down the temperature. We need more substance there to start calling them that. What are your interpretation?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's been some stuff going on today that's got Sil hot. And, sometimes when you get hot and people are tagging you, you just fire off. And I don't know if they take this as homophobic, as a homophobic attack to them, then I'm in no position to tell them that they're wrong.
Okay.
And if they're offended by it, then that's how they take it, right?
Okay.
My first reading of it didn't come off to me as homophobic. It just sounded like
just
shit.
Just say phobic.
I'm sorry. Phobic.
No.
It didn't come off as phobic.
No, these are tricks. So YouTube, it's not. I understand. Yeah. Okay.
Mash has to pay the bills.
I need to work on getting around their.
No. I know it's silly. Chris.
It's understandable. I just think that, like, yeah, it's...
You know how I feel, man. I don't think Bradley or Austin need anyone to protect them, but we're gonna.
Yeah.
I feel protective over them. They're my friends. I'm like that. And if I don't know, this is a whole shit show. I'm gonna back Bradley and Austin no matter what. I don't give a shit. I'm an asshole like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Saggy. Saggy, if you want to come on, feel free to. Hold on. Let me see here. No, I do know Bradley really tries to stay out of it. I do know. I love Austin's fiery though. Austin loves to get into the discussions here. All right, and then we'll move on to the other thing, which I'm not really looking forward to, but I have to do my due diligence. People, and I owe my audience, honestly. I've created a free speech, movie talk platform where we try to criticize everyone, and we really examine the news. And this has been consistently coming up. My audience, most of my audience, is demanding that I address certain things. All right, let me see. I'm not offended. It shows his true colors. Bradley had nothing to do with this, and for him dragging him in to say what he said crossed the line with me. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I stand by you, Austin. Saggy says Bradley doesn't get into drama just because of his boyfriend Mike doesn't mean it's okay to talk. Guilt by association shit needs to stop. Full stop. Okay. All right. I think I don't want to bring this up to the top of the show, but I think before it escalates, we examine it. All right, there we go. So that's that. Yes, Tony, I do remember that. I just remember our little fallout with me and you, Tony, was that you were bringing up stuff like when you were super chatting stuff when Mikey was a music manager and stuff, and I said I don't want to go dig into people's past, me personally, on my show. I don't condemn you for doing that. I'm just saying that's not the route I want to go. I want to criticize their stories and go that way. Go ahead. Did you have something to add, Isaac?
Yeah, I do. I have something that sorry, I messed up. I'm uploading a video on it, but to me, it's not that they're phobic. I'll just say that. It's not that to me, what's happened recently in society is that it's become, at least here in America, it's less susceptible to be phobic. And so there's hidden phobia still. And while I don't think Syl is phobic at all, what I think it is this a certain bias. And I think in society that still lingers on, especially with women. Sexism, there's a lot of times where men believe that women should just be providers. And that kind of happens here. That still exists in our society. And to me, that also happens with crap. I hate having to say phobia. And to me, when I saw Syl say that, my big question was, why bring that up? And I even did a little bit of research, and I was looking at all the times he's responded to anyone that's criticizing, like Jarbo, RJ, and all that. And I noticed he never brings up the partners. And I find it confusing that the one, at least from the people I know in this community, at least the one that I know that is openly gay relationship, my big question is, why bring up his boyfriend? That's I don't mind if you respond. Everyone's allowed to respond to criticism, but why bring up somebody's partner? And even if it's, I don't care what relationship it is. Like, for example, I was watching that stream that when Andy Signor and you first encountered each other on stream, he brought up your wife for some reason. And that, like, to me, just bringing up someone's partner, especially
a little personal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
yeah, I think he went a little personal. Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, even if it's
just like even though I am not a fan of Casey Walsh, and I will criticize Casey Walsh in the future as well on my channel, my show. But even though Casey Walsh has some bad social media behavior himself, consistently going to there's a lot of like internet alpha and beta talk. It's not just Syl. It's very prevalent. Like, oh, you're a beta. Are you surprised he has pink hair? That's kind of a
To be fair, I don't know who Casey Walsh is.
Right.
He coincided me today.
That's
and I didn't know
another scooper. Scooper Wars. Scooper Wars. Okay.
God, I hope I never become a scooper. But yeah, look, I don't think Sil was trying to say this with bad intent to me. I forgot who said. I think it was Devin who said.
I do also. Not that Sil's going to listen to me anymore. I actually think Sil's going to distance himself from me, and I don't blame him.
Can I do that too?
No, you're not. I'm holding on to you, Isaac. I'm holding on to Eddie, Devin, Isaac, and Chris. What's that?
Did I consent to that?
With consent, I'll hold on to you.
I'm just kidding. I give you my consent to hold on to me.
Hey, we have 53 people watching. Remember to like this video. And also remember, I do topics that I don't necessarily want to cover. I want things to happen. I want something to be interesting at the upfront. And we're going to discuss, did Sil actually say that something was going to happen? Because the potential damage control is, I didn't say it was going to be this event. I'm saying, but we'll get to that too. I do also have to, we do make videos that doesn't have anything to do with his response. Okay. Fair enough. I think that could be conceived as crossing the line into slightly personal, but I do say that a lot of you have gone personal at Sil, consistently calling him a liar. Now, I'm not going to go that route until I know for sure. RJ is here. Hey, RJ. RJ is gone. Bye, RJ. RJ, you there?
He's become me.
All right. Now, I also don't want to bring... sorry. I also don't want to bring my friends Skywalker and Zod into this, but we are going to play a little bit of a video because it was on Skywalker's channel, and my intention is not to drag them into it, but it's what Sil says on their channel is the reason that I want to watch it. Because even though we don't do guilt by association, I do have to say, without giving behind-the-scenes stuff, I have noticed that I'm getting distance from his community, whereas Cool with Kennel, not guilting you be buying association, but see what he says about Ryan Kennel. There is something to gather from those comments. Says, I'm cool with Kennel, and then the next thing out of his mouth is he likes to hate things, and that's cool. But someone that's criticizing you, that's an open friend, you're going to distance yourself some. Is there something to take away from that? And that's why I want to share this video. Just the clip here. This happened recently, and and to be transparent with you viewers, I have noticed the last few weeks it's been pretty significant distance from my channel, which I understand why, but still, I think there's something to gain from this too. This is from, and listen, I am a subscriber of Skywalker. I support Skywalker speaking his mind, support Zod, and I thumbs this up at the time. But I think this is worthy of a quick discussion here. All right, hold on. And this is not to attack anyone. This is just to give you context.
You know what I'm saying? But then looking for someone else, like they want to make a content about someone, another YouTuber.
All right.
Your kids probably mad at you. Like these people got families. They worry about Sil Abdul. I don't get it.
And this magical L, the quest for the elusive L. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy.
It's all the video. Just go on the video, clip it. You know what I'm saying? Give me a view, and then we'll talk about the L. That's what we'll do. Receipts or shut the F up.
Okay, so that's the other reason I'm starting to,
there is a receipts. There are receipts now.
I am starting to check receipts, yes, and it brings me no joy that nothing happened today.
And the thing is, to act like Sil and Mikey never hyped up May 18th is very naive. They did.
Okay.
On May 15th,
yes.
Sil published a tweet talking about shock and awe.
I have the whole context here. Here, let's bring it up. Now, if you are going to be devil's advocate, before you say I'm trying to, cape for Sil or anything, he keeps being told to shock and awe in general with Zaslav and the merger, and then he's hoping that something's done at the upfront. I think there could be some room for discussion there.
Even on their streams, man, they were still talking about shock and awe and talking about May 18th
But
all these subtle things about it.
Yeah.
The thing is, man, and have you seen the way he has backpedaled, the backtracking today on Twitter?
No.
Mikey ran an article saying that the Snyderverse will live on HBO Max. Now Syl is saying, oh, it won't be on HBO Max. It's going theatrical.
Well, is that based on what Zaslav said recently, where Batwoman or Batgirl was going theatrical? Is that
Zaslav never said Batgirl was going theatrical?
Well, what did he say? Something
he said
earlier.
He's limiting the budgets on basically all their projects. When it comes to streaming, he does not want to focus on streaming original movies. He wants to focus on series. He also said that they want to prioritize theatrical releases about 20 to 25 a year.
Didn't they put a cap of 35 million on anything?
35 million for every HBO Max original movie if they make them. He doesn't want to spend more than 35 million on a.
It sounds like he doesn't want to make any original HBO movies, HBO Max movies.
Pretty much, he has no interest in that. Yeah, he wants to focus on series and bringing theatrical films to the streaming service.
Because I think it was also noted that the best performing movies on HBO Max are the theatrical ones, and the original ones didn't do so well.
Such as the Batman, which did apparently extremely well for HBO Max when they brought that after the 45 days.
Isaac, you're so stupid. Max first for geek.
Oh yeah.
At this point, there's no defending them. There's no defending.
There's always defending people. This isn't like.
Oh, I know, but at this point, if you defend them, then I don't understand why. Because at this point, it's been exposed.
Well, there's definitely questions now. I have for sure. I told you I'm playing the long game, and I want them to be right, and it gives me no joy to criticize.
Well, they're definitely wrong today.
Well,
again,
that's what we're going to discuss.
You can't lead people on saying shock and awe and tease them that something could happen today, and then not take accountability. And now all of a sudden, Syl says, "Oh, no Scoop Center this week, guys. I'm not going live this week."
That's concerning. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when he gets pushback from me on Twitter, now all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, never mind. I'm going to stream on Saturday."
All right.
Very funny. It's very funny.
Well.
And again,
my interpretation. Let's discuss this. Whoa, RJ's getting hot today.
Have you seen the tweets that he published today, where he got pushback from some of his viewers?
Oh, really?
How he responded to them.
You can bring him up. Listen.
Did he get some screenshots? Let's get some screenshots going.
I did.
Yeah. we're doing investigating work. There isn't. Listen, Devin. This is why I like Devin and Eddie and RJ and Isaac, Chris. There is an opportunity for great content here. I don't want to go personal. I want to take the temperature down. I don't want to make enemies. But in the future, I don't want to just criticize Syl only. This is an opportunity for good content.
Max, yesterday, I agreed with you 100% when you said you don't see this as anything different than the rest of the industry does.
Yes,
the difference is, though, you're right about that. But the difference is, though, these guys have a built-in bubble audience. They are on a podcast type of YouTube channel. They've got their own little platform.
If you want to
it's dedicated entirely to this.
If you want to see more content like this of me being critical, smash the like button. I forgot to bring this down for a second, RJ. I have to say something. Okay. I have reached out to Mr. Syl Abdul for comment on his sources and the shock and awe, but MMB officially has received no reply for commentary from Mr. Syl Abdul.
Well, at least you tried.
No, this is what we're going to do when we do this. Yes, I have not no updates from Syl. Although I did tweet at him and not a private DM.
Yeah,
but I will bring that down again, RJ.
Okay.
But when the Madman reached out for commentary, I did tweet at him, but I did it politely. I will show you the tweet. I did not private DM him because I am no longer followed by him. I will share that.
Damn. Max, that's all I want to say. Hold on. At some point, now you see how your audience and even some of their audience and a lot of people that ain't even either audiences, they all want to call these guys on their bullshit. At some point, it doesn't become, oh, they're haters. At some point, it's got to break away from that. And you just got to realize that these people are being called out because they are full of shit.
No, I
excuse.
No, I want to say that I followed him from since he started his channel. I'm not the reason he made a channel, but I encouraged him to do it. I'm not taking it personally or anything. I'm just saying that since I'm no longer followed, I don't feel the need to reach out to him privately when I criticize.
Well, let me bring up these tweets because we need to talk about this. So I'm going full screen so you can see it better. This is Top Hat guy. He's one of Sill's viewers saying Zaslav shut down the Snyderverse today though. Sill replies, "Where at?" I got that impression when he said he won't do any director's favors, not even Clint Eastwood. What does favors have to do with the Snyderverse? Okay, all right. It continues.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Wait.
Context. Hold on.
It's not okay.
Let me show you the full context. What does favors have to do with the Snyderverse? Air cut seems like a favor to David's heir as opposed to a worthy investment. What does the air cut have to do with Zach coming back?
That does have something to do with it,
Yeah. They were hyping up the air cut.
And they were the ones pushing that link. They were the ones pushing that link.
They were the ones saying that the air cut was instrumental to getting Zach back. Now still saying, well, what does the air cut to do with Zach coming back? It doesn't matter anymore.
No, y'all see what I'm saying by they were the one pushing that link? They were saying the air cut is connected to Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it's not.
And now they're like, well, what's that got to do with anything? I don't know, motherfucker. You're the one that was saying it had something to do with it. All right.
Man, this is what I don't want to
do. Bars, man.
if Zaslav actually had the quote that he doesn't want to do directors any favors, then I feel like that's a direct quote from the guy in charge that, Sill or any of these other scoopers need to address first and foremost. Like, that sounds like it's coded, but pretty direct at what he's getting at there.
Well, no, I do agree with Sill's pushback on that. Why is the return? Is that a favor? That's not a favor to continue the Snyderverse. Your intent, your perception.
I think it's a favor.
Okay, that's your opinion, yeah.
Because he has to invest money in it for it to be released on HBO.
No, but you're ultimately assuming that it's it's a favor and there's not an opportunity for money.
How can you suddenly pivot to saying HBO Max is the future of the Snyderverse, and all of a sudden now it's theatrical? Because I guarantee you they were not expecting Zaslav to come out and say, "I don't want to do original movies on HBO Max," because that is a huge bit of news that flies in the face of everything they've been saying for the last year. Huge.
The only way you can hold a person accountable on the internet, honestly, Max, you can only take what a person says at face value. That's it.
I'll be honest.
When they keep getting that face value, that credibility damaged, after a while, you just got to be like, you're full of shit, because there's no other way to make them atone for what they've done other than to be like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. Because
I agree. I agree. If you're not willing to spend $75 million on a canceled Wonder
Tree project,
you're
why all using your bias with this interpretation, though. Why are they going to spend? They're acting like there's no room for success for the Snyderverse. So you're exposing your bias there. Like it's
I don't believe that. Max, stop doing that.
I mean, everyone has biases in life.
I want the Snyder Cut to come back too, and I do.
No, but you're saying like it's a favor that's not going to make any money. It's too expensive. Those are all opinions.
That's not me.
It's more likely.
Matt's the math guy. Matt Jarbo's the one that always wants to bring the math, the money into it, and he may be right. I'm saying there's room. I'm just saying they may not be able to dump as much money into it as Zach would need them to.
Well, the money thing is now an even bigger issue. I mean, I don't know we're going to get into that, but I had to bring up Tony's comment here because you know what? Tony was one of the first people to call Sill and Mikey out. He was. And you know what? He's right that they do play semantics, I believe, to remove a lot of stuff when they're wrong.
Listen, I understand, Tony. I said I support you doing it. I just didn't want to go bringing up all their other stuff. I know you're trying to show a track record of their history of other things. I didn't want to go that route because we're also examining, like, when that was just like a Yelp reviewer almost is a comparison to someone in Mikey's past, and I didn't want to go that route. That's all. But I didn't try. Whatever.
Yeah,
If
I
you
just
want
don't
an
want to. I don't want to
apology
keep
from
being
me,
pegged
Tony.
as some like anti-Snyder guy. That's not true. I love the Snyder dudes. I just don't like the assholes that pop off for no reason. I'm totally pro Snyder. I don't know why people keep saying, "Oh, you guys are just anti and you got bias." Because I don't.
Zeno, I really care. I want them to be right. I absolutely want
Me
them
too.
to be right. No,
because they are lying to people.
Well,
and they are manipulating people's emotions, and they are literally grifting off of this for the long game to make money.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's what Mad Max used to do. He used to call out grifters.
If you're a scooper, then like honestly, like the game that you are playing is to try to make the most waves. And if you don't have like, I don't know what this dude, I don't know if he has like actual sources or whatnot.
His
sources, he's got great sources. He's got Google.
If you don't have like actual real sources, then you got to do some pretty underhanded shit to make the kind of waves that you need to make as a scooper. It helps, and I get the sense
I believe he has sources. I believe he has sources.
You may have sources.
Oh, you
may
could
have
be
sources,
right. You could be wrong if you have sources too. Because
this May 18th thing seems like it was just a crazy swing, like a wild out of nowhere.
It was, Devin. We said all week
out of nowhere.
We said all week this is a nothing burger. They're not even good. They're not gonna talk about.
They didn't even
anything
talk.
that has to do with Zack Snyder.
Actually, the funny thing is, the one thing about DC they talked about. Guess what it was?
It was Wonder Twins.
Well,
right?
I do have a different. Even though I did
Peacemaker
not
season 2. They talked about Peacemaker season 2.
And Max, I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't envy your position. You're backed in a corner, stuck between a rock and a hard place because these guys are your friends. So I get it. Like I get.
No, I even though I didn't get, I will not reveal my source. I have a source for this too. Even though I didn't get update from Sil, I did get an update from someone else, and I was addressing this tweet to get clarification on it because I wanted. Am I missing some context here? But this is what was told to me. Sil says in the tweet that they hope they deliver something. He wouldn't say if he was confident that something was going to happen at the event. And Mikey, in their live streams, literally said on the video many times not to get your hopes up front. So there may be clips out there that say that, this may be more in general. Zaslav is going to be shock and awe. But I want this to be that's I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm not saying that now you could all have your own. You all are going to have your own opinion. I'm saying this is what supporters of Sil and Mikey are saying. Marcus. And is there, and I want to go to Devin first, actually, RJ, not to put you on the back burner.
That's fine.
Do you see any room for conversation that this is more in general of how Zaslav is going to handle WB altogether? And then where there's spaces between the next, his next comment is that he's hoping that they deliver something on May 18th, considering he's told shock and awe in general. Do you see that at all, Devin?
Well, I mean, when you say you're being told shock and awe, that's for starters, you have to know what shock and awe is in reference to. Like, and that's
hold
not
up,
a small prize.
Hold on. I have to address this, okay?
Yeah.
Who exactly in the company that we keep are manipulators? I would love to know the company here on this panel. Who exactly is a manipulator?
It's me. I'm sorry, guys.
If you're referring to Matt Jarbo, which you might be, I don't really see Matt as a manipulator. You may feel differently, but I think it's a little bit naive to come out and say that we're hypocrites because we keep manipulators around us as company. That's a heavy accusation to make about the people you're actively watching right now. So, just saying.
Okay. I know you two have.
I mean, I asked it in a very nice way.
Zeno. Yeah, I appreciate that, RJ. I know you're trying. Zeno has every right to criticize. Listen, Matt Jarbo is not off limits either. Everyone has a right to criticize him too. So whatever. I do. There are a lot of people that think Matt Jarbo manipulates situations, and I'm not going to blame them for thinking that. So that's not a condemnation of Zeno either. So. There's and RJ, I understand you did good there. You're trying to, or RJ, you're trying to be calm about it. But I'm not trying to start any fights. No. That's not an isolated take on Matt Jarbo as well. Lots of the internet believe that he manipulates things, creates chaos. But we'll save Matt Jarbo for another video. But what's your turn?
That was fun.
No.
That was fun.
Well, let's go around the panel.
We'll save the Jarbo Chronicles for another time.
Yeah. Do you see any room there, Devin? That you said shock and awe. That's go ahead.
Like so he's claiming that he's being told something. So right there, he's making a statement of like, I have at least something that pertains to fact. Somebody that maybe I trust as a source is telling me that shock and awe is imminent, or whatever that might mean. It may mean something big. It may mean something completely unrelated. I don't know. We don't know. There wasn't enough context there. Just shock and awe. And then in the second part, yeah, he does give himself a little wiggle room by saying he hopes that it's something, right? So I don't. It depends on how much you want to believe this guy. Like, if you're somebody that really wants to believe in what he's telling you, then yeah, that's going to be like a smoking gun kind of statement, right? But if you're not someone who is prone to believe whatever weird stuff he says, then there's enough wiggle room there to be like, okay, that's not that big of a deal. He heard a thing and it turned out not to be true. How many of us hear things that
he did use the words hope? So that's not like that's definite something's going to happen.
At the very end, though, he still said, I heard there will be shock and awe. I heard shock and awe used around for this event. Okay. Let me say this too.
Okay, Marcus. Jesus, that was.
It is totally fine if people want to believe the Snyderverse is continuing. That is not the issue. The issue here is believing people and listening to people who are throwing out imaginary dates and saying you need to do this, this, and this. Okay. Because again, that's some QAnon type shit. It is believing that this magical date things are going to happen, saying this is going to happen this way. That's different from the belief that the Snyderverse is continuing and being restored is different from the belief that things are going to happen in a certain specific way that fit what we believe we need to do.
He did use the word hope, though. He did use the word hope.
Not in regards to shock and awe, though.
It wasn't definitive, but at the same point, I will say he was heavily alluding to it, though.
And it's not
why are they screaming right now?
Hold on. And it's not your business as to what I feel like either.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you both two here from going. Listen, I will address Zeno's comments, RJ. Okay,
that's it, Zeno. You and me next week. Kill stream, motherfucker.
No, the only reason is because I don't want you to get too aggressive towards each other. I will address. Zeno is a sword of power producer here, and he has every right to criticize. I agree.
But we have every right as well.
Yes. But I just want to cool that down a little bit. I want to get back to the conversation about Syl. Because that's who we're criticizing here. The hope. So there is, yes. But he heavily alluded that, the shock and awe and then commenting toward.
Yeah,
but
that's
here's the thing with
the
a lot in the Snyderverse community. And listen, this brings me no joy either. The Vero post from Zach. Who's here?
Who is typing, Vince? He said that typing is hella loud.
Sorry, just changing to the computer.
You going into a thing over there, Isaac?
By the way, I never called anyone, including you, delusional.
No. He's saying he's not saying specifically you, RJ. Matt Jarbo has. Let's get off the Matt Jarbo thing, both of you, please. Matt Jarbo has consistently said people are delusional for believing this shit. They're moronic. Yeah.
And
I don't need to get
as far
the
as I know,
specifics.
he hasn't even jumped into this shit today, barely. He's more worried about the other stuff that happened last night.
Yeah.
On another stream.
So I'm trying to keep us on track here. I want to bring up the Vero post about.
Look at Isaac.
Does anyone have the Vero?
Motherfucker, you. Look at you, boy. Growing that hair and that beard. Damn,
Anyone have the Vero post from Zack Snyder about the 18th? Really turned out to be a nothing burger. Now, I still think there's some more to that turkey picture, but this was really just about only.
I still feel like he did that shit on purpose for buzz.
I agree, Eddie. It was bait. Everyone knows it was bait. It was thrown out as bait. They got a
lot in the community did say, and I'm not happy about it, but a lot in the community said, this just means nothing. Well, it did mean nothing about that last post from, let me see if I could find it. Zach, did you put this on Twitter? Where is it? I don't know.
When did somebody, I'm so lost now because the chat's, I try to pay attention to you guys in the chat, but I'm trying to figure out at what point did anyone call Zeno unstable?
What is going on in the chat?
Yeah, right, Devin. I'm so fucking lost.
Like I'm tangentially paying attention to
Mo
chat.
Moon,
Everyone was
nice
yelling
to
at a
you.
Marcus dude at some point. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're not
free for all in there.
We're not going member after member crime. Let's all chill out. I can't find this thinking Zack Snyder, but everyone knows what I'm referencing. He's lifting weights.
He said
day of shooting.
Day 18. Can't wait to get back to shooting. That's all it said, or something like that. And it was him deadlifting. That was it. It didn't say 18th. It said day 18. That could have meant he's on the 18th day of his workout, or he's on the 18th day of shooting Moon Patrol, or whatever that fucking movie's called.
It was the shooting.
It could mean anything.
Well, Zeno, don't go. I will address it because it's another member. Be chill. Oh my dear Lord, this is a chaos for me. Listen, this brings me no joy. Okay.
You knew this stream was going to be a little bit hot.
No, I knew it.
Thumbnail, you knew.
No, I knew. Well, it's
all Eddie's fault.
I also did a meme for Mikey. I still like Mikey. But this is what people are claiming, that the sources are himself.
Hold on, let me see something here. We got 65 watching. How many likes are there? Because I'm about to go full Fred Flintstone on this motherfucker.
All right.
10 likes? Are you shitting me?
Really?
Oh no, I see 26.
Okay. I need to refresh.
Yeah. For Isaac.
Let's get it. Come on, guys.
The turkey. That was a joke. That was a joke, Tony. There obviously was about what was in the background, not the turkey.
It was the book, yeah. That's what
Wow, really,
Zach
Marcus?
knew what he was doing.
If it was,
nobody can do it, to be honest.
No. But listen,
critical.
look at who's Marcus. You're the one that tries to derail things. All right, so that's what I wanted. I actually had a video ready too. Of him, I don't know if I'm going to play it now.
Well, can I ask you something, Max? Though,
yes.
But you mentioned it backstage, so I don't know if it's supposed to be off the record. Like somebody right now is streaming.
Yeah,
and it feels to me like, they never do that. They never jump out and go, "Oh my god, we got to stream right away" because you mentioned something. It feels like damage control to me.
No, it's because they're streaming because
it feels like damage control to me, RJ.
No, they are. They are playing damage control.
Okay.
Let me just say,
100% they are.
Okay.
Are we getting canceled?
No.
Yes, we are.
My mood by the end of the stream, I could be. I'm just saying.
I will say I reached out to lots of people beforehand.
Yeah, well, Chris, let me share something that might make you feel better. 100 Days.
What is that?
What's
meme?
I know.
What's that? It's
Who
100
made that?
days, you know?
Who made that?
Somebody replied to me with this meme.
Okay. I'll allow it. Memes
what the fuck is that? Like
10 days, 7 days.
Wait,
the ring, girl from the ring. You know.
Days. Marcus, are you new here?
Well, here's let's get.
You're not new here, Marcus. You know the answer to that.
Okay, Mo. Yeah. No. Zeno is a supporter of these channels, and he's being critical. He has every right to be. But saying
he has every right to ask a question too.
Yeah, but saying you're mentally unstable to Zeno is not cool either, Mo. But
Oh, Mo's the one. Okay, so now I know.
Yeah. So that's not
Hashtag
nice.
cancel Mo Moon.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Mo.
Here's Tony saying
he's trying to be diplomatic.
No, if I go too far either way, it's going to piss everyone off, and I don't want to get everyone pissed off. Here's the facts. I like Zack Snyder. I want them to be right. The fact is that not all the Vero posts mean anything.
Well,
it's fact. It's fact. No,
RJ, let him finish.
Yeah. Not all the Vero posts. This is fact.
Ironic.
Not everything from Zach means something. That doesn't mean that other ones haven't meant something in the past. A lot of people rolled with the 18th, and then what's on the 18th? This is absolute fact.
Absolute nothing. That's what happened on the 18th.
No, this is fact that not everything means everything from Zach, and I need to drink.
Zach?
No, well, here's the thing, right? Sills copied the playbook of Matthew Miranda and Lightcast. That's all what it is.
He's right.
Sil Abdul's channels is Lightcast 2.0. That's all it is. I mean, like we're not like this isn't new per se. It's just that it's more popular now than Lightcast ever was.
Yeah, because it's the only source.
Well, honestly, there
on
is
YouTube
shock and
talking
awe from Zaslav, but he is not. He's just doing what he wants and doing. He is cleaning house.
Yeah. It's almost
And-
it's funny.
and
He's limiting budgets and doesn't want to spend that much money.
No, there is
People think
shock
he's
and awe,
gonna-
but he's
I'll be-
subverting expectations.
No, but it's a different shock and awe than the Sils and Mikey were saying.
Now, the definitive date that we do have right now is the air cut this year. The air cut this year. And
This year is not technically a date, Max.
No,
well, it's a time window. It's a time window.
No,
It's a better way to say
it's
it.
a time window, and I'm going to keep that receipt.
Too
I'm
vague.
going to check the receipt.
Yeah, okay.
You saying it's too vague, Isaac?
Too vague. Sorry.
Okay.
Seems like
You know what's crazy though, Isaac?
backup
I
plan.
believe but only because they've gotten this scoop from like 900 other people.
No, I believe
the air cut actually is coming. I believe they're right about this.
I hope they're right. Go ahead, Isaac.
I do want to bring up that on Saturday, Aaron mocked me because I was talking about the Geekosity article about the haircut.
Yeah, that's true.
He just messaged me within 2 seconds.
RJ,
live, Donovan. It could happen.
What are the specifics that we could check the
It's
receipts?
all good, Isaac. It's all good.
Really, now, I still invites everyone when on his Twitter he says receipts or shut the F up. So
he
that
didn't
is
give
a
me that
challenge.
opportunity. He just blocked me. So
I kind of
Well,
agree with
that-
Zeno.
that-
I agree with that, Zeno.
That is a challenge.
But that's
So
the game, bro.
All I ask is if someone brings me receipts, let's discuss it. Let's have the receipts and let's not get personal. So I think I take that as a challenge. So the receipts we have so far are he not specifically saying the 18th, but he heavily implied shock and awe along with. So I hope something's going to happen there. Didn't happen. A lot of people in the Snyderverse community, the last Vero post from Zach, the 18th day of shooting, heavily implied that he doesn't just do this for nothing. That one was for nothing. So, and that brings me no.
celebrities tease.
How about this? When
Okay.
when that Mikey Sutton article about Michael DeLuca came out, which has been debunked, and Mikey actually admitted live on Sil's channel that it was only titled that way for clickbait and rage bait, and it wasn't true. He admitted that, right? That he based off a technicality. You have Sil here saying, in regards to like this post that Zach was going to do at a Comic-Con that ended up happening. He said, keep in mind, folks, around the same time, Mike DeLuca and Gavin O'Connor, collabs with Ben Affleck multiple times, I believe, were attached to DCU around this time as well. Then, yes, things changed. Okay? Again, trying to insinuate that Michael DeLuca and Gavin O'Connor were going to work with Ben Affleck, which isn't true.
You know, I think wasn't it 2018? Like basically,
Very, very, very small loose threads that connect this to the Snyderverse at all. Okay.
But it's more stuff that again.
Should we actually bring
tiny threads? But these dudes try to make it look like barge rope.
Yeah,
they do. They try to make it look like shipping rope. They try to make it look like it's so cohesive.
This guy is the worst wrestling scoopers.
I mean, they're just taking big swings. Like you have to as a scooper. You just gotta and there at some point there will be something akin to a shock and awe because we know that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to change their structure to emulate Marvel structure, right? That was the big thing. They want to just be like Marvel except for with DC properties. And the one thing that Disney does, they do have these kind of big events where all of a sudden there's like 20 new Marvel shows on Disney Plus that are revealed and the new movies that are the logos are revealed and all that sort of stuff. And it's a big advertising campaign that pushes all of the conversations that we as fandoms have throughout the year. Oh, now Ms. Marvel's coming. When is Armor Wars? What's Secret Wars? Et cetera, et cetera. DC will eventually get there. And maybe these guys are just taking swings on when that's going.
They'll never catch up to Marvel. They'll never catch up to Marvel because Marvel will be
Even if they don't catch up to Marvel. They're still gonna eventually hit this point. And I guess that might be a future battle when DC or when Warner Brothers eventually does get to the point where they start dropping titles. Then these guys are gonna come out and say, "See, we were right all along. We said shock and awe."
Well,
Like
let's
5
just
years from now, they'll be
let's bring this up because this is important. Even though I don't do guilt by association, we all know what Ryan Kindle is, and he admits Kindle's a hater, and he's cool with Kindle, but he's distancing himself with his friends that are critics like me. I will be transparent. That's he is going to be distancing.
Well, if we really want to get into that,
it's cool. Kindle. Oh, okay, explain.
We really want to get into that. Still has also been very cool and friendly with Bounty into Comics, a hate mongering website that the fandom ministry frequently use, simply because they quoted Mikey and Sil for one of their articles.
Yeah, and I don't want to guilt by association, but yes,
plays both sides.
Isaac.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's play this. I want to address this part here.
Entertaining and stuff. Zod, do you feel like it is important for us to kind of like start shifting the conversation towards that type of mentality now? Because I feel like, it's just been getting worse.
The reason I want to address this is almost like a message to me without messaging me directly. And this is.
Do you feel like it was aimed at you?
No. When he says people that say they're neutral.
Wait, go back, play it again.
Well, it's not here yet. I'm trying to find it. I had the timestamp and then I messed it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Either give us the proof or shut up.
Okay. No, and that's fair. Thank you, Zod.
Yeah, but it's also
people have started giving the proof,
Jesus
and
Christ,
that's why
man.
Sil's backtracking and running
What,
away.
Chris? What?
Well, just I mean, I'm sorry, man. Zod just rubs me the wrong way sometimes, man.
No, I like Zod.
I like Zod too, and I tried
Hey,
to be
no,
civil with
get
him,
out
but
here.
what he just said was, "Give us the proof or shut up."
Yes.
No, how about you give us the proof or shut up?
Yeah, how about you
that?
give us the proof?
No. Be calm, Chris.
That
Oh my
sword
God.
swings
But,
both ways.
Matt-
It swings
Matt,
both ways. Is all I'm saying.
We've been proving them, though. We've been
No,
showing
but that's
proof.
what we're doing here in a calm manner. Oh my goodness.
And the
We need
whole
a
I gotta
challenge.
dis-
I mean, that's
and when
pretty much
someone
all
says
their
I gotta
choices,
distance
it's
myself,
like you said, Sky. I mean, it's to a point. We ain't got no time really to be going back and forth
There's
like some
Zeno.
weirdos, like on semantics and all this stuff. It's like, bro, we don't rock together. Like, I'm cool that we don't rock together. Now, you got some. They need that negativity, that negative grift, as we say. And that that is what it is. You do your thing. Like, I'm gonna say real quick. I'm cool with people. They may not like Ryan Kendall, RK Outpost. I'm cool with him. I know he does like negative views about stuff.
He knows he's negative.
Ryan Kendall's not a good person.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this dude.
Zeno's happy that he's in both.
Serious.
This is Xenoception. No, but I'm saying this isn't guilt by association, but that tells you something. He's cool. The people he's cool with that are they have no credibility whatsoever. Ryan Kindle has absolutely zero credibility, and this isn't subjective.
Ryan Kindle's a
this is
hand
facts.
job.
This is facts.
He's a fucking
Facts.
moron.
Yeah, he is a moron.
He's just a hater, and that's as long as you don't criticize. I do think there's a conversation to be had there. As long as you don't criticize, he's cool with you. All right. That's what I'm taking. That's what I'm taking from this. As long as you just don't stay in your lane,
No,
do
you know
whatever
what
the
that
hell
sounds
you
like?
want.
That's not what it sounds like to me. You know, it sounds like to me. If you're not part of my echo chamber, I don't want nothing to do with you. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
it sounds soft. That's what it sounds like to me. And I like these guys. I like Jedi. I love that he's a soldier. I love that. I love his view. I love talking to him. But if you even say one thing that doesn't fit into like what he feels or thinks about the Snyder Cut, he will flip out on you, man.
Yeah, it's
he
funny
will read
too.
you a riot act.
Hey, we have 70 people watching. Smash the like button.
And I really like Skywalker, but just say I gotta fall back for a while.
Well, I don't want to focus too much on them. This is more about what Phil's saying right now. That's fair, Chris, but I just want to get through this and then we'll move on to other.
Well, no, I wanted to say this too. Here's the funny thing, right?
Yeah.
About this whole thing, right? Right. Shit, I lost my point because y'all were talking so much shit.
No, you lost your point because you have too many of them, RJ. That's what happened. Your brain.
No.
Never
You guys are
shuts down.
talking so much. I lost my point because I was about to say something and interject there. But here's the thing, right? I just think it's very funny. Here's the thing, right? If you're cool with someone like Ryan Kindle, like I don't know, man. That's just weird. And that's what I was gonna say. In regards to Sil being like, oh, you criticize him once, I never even talked crap about Sil. I watched Sil.
You have talked crap about
Hold
Sil.
on.
You
I'm
have,
talking about initially. Initially, let me talk.
Okay.
Let me talk.
Whoa.
Initially, Blinded Braille had criticism of Sil and Mikey in terms of Mikey's Marvel scoops. Okay. All I did was I facilitated him having the platform to ask Sil what was up with that. I shared the screen and I asked a question about a Daredevil article and shared it with Sil, and he got pissed off at me. And that's when Sil really started being negative towards me. Okay. One slight criticism and they can't handle it.
All right.
Even asking questions. Sil does not like people asking questions. Because here's the thing.
Here's
you ask questions, you push any pushback in his chat, you will get blocked and timed out.
Well, I want to get to the point that I feel that I was addressed
it's
towards
a Care Bear bubble.
All right. Because I think this is exactly when I feel extremely distant from him.
Oh,
now.
Blind Bro, yeah.
All right, here we go.
That's his move. You know what I'm saying? But then there's people that looking for someone else. Like they want to make the content about someone, another YouTuber.
Yes.
That's corny.
Yeah.
That's really corny to me. Now, if that's how you gotta get views, like I said, RK, he does bigger stuff. I'm saying these other dudes, people, the way they moving, bro, it's not, I want to trigger people. That's corny. I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck what you think is corny.
On that.
All right, Chris, you really like to go.
I love Chris. Chris.
But hey, maybe people rock with that. And then once again, if you rock with, y'all can be over there. I'm over here.
Right. There's a right. Right. Because the bottom line is that there's a time and a place for everything. So if you're cool over there, you should just stay over there.
Rock on, dye your hair, do whatever you gotta do over there.
Okay. That was a little bit.
Dye your hair.
Wait, so was he saying that?
Who's he telling that to?
Triggering, like wanting to purposely trigger people, is corny. But like, isn't that what they admitted to doing in that video about Michael DeLuna?
Exactly.
Oh, Devin, that's why we keep you around, Devin.
Thank you, Devin. Thank you for pointing that out.
That was a good point, Devin.
Who says corny anymore? That's like Leave It to Beaver speak.
It came back.
Come on,
corny came back.
We're bringing it back, Joe. We're bringing it back. God damn it.
We love you that you're corny
back.
You're corny too, man. Bad take. Joe is in the house. All right, but I want to get to the point where I think is interpreted towards me because things that happen.
You cool. We chilling over here. We got time for all that, man.
Yeah, man. And you guys it's been a lot of weird stuff going on. You got people attacking Sil, but won't say anything bad about Mikey. But like Sil is connected with Mikey, but it's like there's have all the fingers towards Sil. It's like, it's really weird right now. I feel like but I think it's weird for a reason. I've been getting more and more hyped on it. I can't help but feeling like, this is right before that whole.
I want to get to the point where he says,
when was that? March 20th? No, May 20th thing where the Snyder Cut got announced. I feel like we're right on the cusp, man, and I can't help but get hyped.
Delusional, man.
All over again.
Yeah, he thinks May 20th they're gonna announce it.
All right. Let's keep it towards Silva. I'm just trying to get to the next part.
Come on,
enthusiastic on that level, but I'm not there yet. And I think, like I said, the reason I'm not quite there yet is
Zod's being fair there. He's not there yet
because there's been so much negativity, and I'm just sick of it. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of these kids who don't know anything and who don't know the half of it.
Let me see if I
come in here and think that they're
all right.
And I don't want to be disrespectful, but these people are getting me to the point where I'm getting ready to be rude.
Yeah,
and
this is what we don't want.
I'm not being rude.
No, we've seen his tweets. Come on.
Right. What's that?
We've seen his tweets.
Okay.
This is coming off disrespectful.
Well, no, we're not. We're going after. We're criticizing Sil and Mikey. I don't want to bring them into this.
I will say I don't have a problem. I've seen some of Zod's tweets. I don't have a problem with anything he said. Like I've only talked to him a few times. He seems cool. I like him.
Yeah.
Like there's this whole so there are two layers going on here with this battle.
Okay.
And at the top layer, it's kind of like, kids riffing against each other, you kind of poking fun at each other. You could have a little bit of animus and still be congenial, and it's all good spirit.
Absolutely.
And then underneath there is where it gets more, how this stream started, where we were talking about the potentially phobic comments and all of that. Like that underneath that top layer is when things get a little bit dicey and gritty. And I don't think that, I don't have anything against Zod or the other guy, I forget his name.
Skywalker,
Skywalker. Yeah, I don't have anything against those guys at all. Or
yeah,
what
that's why
how
I'm
they're.
That's why I see some on the panel were criticizing what they say. Let's keep it off of that.
No, I mean it's I mean they're on the show and they're sharing their opinions, and that's fine. But this is really just about what Sil provides as a scooper and the validity of his scoops.
Yeah. So I want to get to the point where I think it was kind of directed towards me and others like me.
I tweeted more back at these folks in the last couple of days than I've tweeted in the entire year. And that's how I know that it's getting to the point where I'm just getting tired of dealing with people.
Hey, you know what? You see, I think that we got to take a page out of Sil's book, right? Because Sil been killing it with those grifter memes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we just got like you got.
That's a cool DC character. grifting behind a paywall.
I swear. I know it's like this. Oh, member stream.
Article behind a paywall. Like what are you doing?
Like somehow member streams is a grift.
There's Zeno.
Mad as shit though. Mad as shit. Mad as shit about that paywall. That's all they got.
Mikey does it. Oh shit! Like
God forbid you and Mikey have member streams. Oh my goodness! You guys are committed. You guys are committing crimes. And I did you hear the one? Did you hear about the one about how Mikey's ripping people off for his comic book? Did you hear that one too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so he made him click pay, right?
Enos was here.
I'm trying to understand how this works in La La
Make
Land.
sure y'all cop that Dreamwalker. You know what I'm saying, guy?
Oh my God, that book
issue number 2 coming out.
I am so glad. I am so glad that I got the variant cover. I am so glad that I got that.
I didn't get the variant cover, and
I wish I had that timestamp. I might just end this part because basically he says, and those that are acting
links to that whole thing we watched, and even tying to what you were trying to say.
All right, I'm gonna watch it for a minute anymore.
Going for some money on eBay right now.
Yo, this is gonna be a hot comic.
I'm mad to get that.
This is gonna be a hot comic.
I'm bringing Corny back.
What's up,
and making stuff up for a Zack attack.
Right? How it is okay.
I'm bringing Corny back.
I mean, no, it's okay for
Swell
the rap
too
to put their content behind a paywall.
What
right,
about
but
Keen or Nifty?
Neener,
with a cherry on top.
There's gonna be a problem with that. So they'll run with it when it's from
giving them the business.
Pipe Dream Gonzalez, right? But
23 Skidoo.
Yo, I'm sorry, but
I can't find it.
You got a lot of nerve talking about pipe dreams, Skywalker.
All right. I thought I had, how you timestamp a video and then when you go live,
Matt Jarbo wants to link A and B. Max, why don't you just tell us what you felt was directed at you?
He basically said, and those that claim they're neutral, but then have others bash me on their streams. And
that's not. And I said to you, Max, it's not fair to you because if I'm
no, but that's exactly those were his words. I wanted to get the actual. I wanted to get the actual context. But and this is where I felt that I'm being. But to be fair, if you heard, not to bring up Zod too much, but he says I'm tired of it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm sick of all constantly going after them. I don't blame him. If that's his good friend, I don't blame him for not wanting to be around.
Enosh, it feels so good to see you back in the room on the throne.
I wish it was under a better circumstance, though. Not like this kind of stuff.
Here's my question. Who cares?
Yep.
That's what I've been asking for a long time now. But I mean, I guess a lot of
Listen, being away for a week and a half, you get some perspective. And you know what? Those guys, look, I like Zod. I've talked to Zod this week.
Yeah.
But you know what? All this other stuff, this scooping crap, it's literally scooping crap. This making stuff up about the Snyderverse, making everybody look mad who's ever liked Zack Snyder. You know what? Making claims and everything else, and then trying to backtrack and say we didn't make any claims. Well, then what the heck you been going on about the 18th for the last week for? What the heck you been going on about every little picture and stuff? I mean, Zack Snyder can't do anything. You don't tweet anything. You don't talk about Rebel Moon, right? Or anything else Zack is working on. But you sit there and tweet and talk forever about, made up crap. Come on. Like, if it happens, it happens. Stop making predictions that aren't going to come true just because you're hoping that something sticks to the wall.
Well,
I'm sit here and eat my cherries.
There's proof that not all Zack Snyder Vero posts mean something. A lot of people got really hyped when they saw him lift the weights 18th day of shooting.
I'm just lost.
Matt, what would you like to say?
Lost celebrities tease stuff. They tease stuff like that. It means nothing. Like they tease a lot of that stuff. Celebrities, like sometimes it happens. Sometimes
who's watching people for scoops anymore?
Yeah,
like why?
Yeah, don't choke. He almost choked on that cherry.
You better man. Why are we watching scoopers?
You're criticizing.
Why do we care?
You're criticizing my grift, man.
No, man. I'm just saying. Why do we care about scoopers?
I cover everything.
I do because they pick up ice cream.
Talk about what everyone's talking about.
I like those kind of. Let me just ask you a question, Zeno. I see what you're saying, and I like Zeno, but he's like,
I care.
Who cares about any of this stuff? You're in the chat every fucking night. You care. Don't even act like you don't care.
Chris,
it is true. If you
don't care,
then viewers. I want all the viewers.
I'd like to point out that old Curly in the middle of those three was calling people betas earlier. So apparently. We're not VHS. We are.
Did you just call
Joe? Okay, that's the greatest dad joke ever. But where did you get a beta?
That's pretty corny.
Yeah.
He said it, not me.
Joe just heard about beta and bought it last week. He just turned in his 8mm.
He said corny.
I got a few of them.
Yeah.
Those might be worth something. Those are all betas.
Well, the young generation doesn't know.
That is a cool shirt, though, Joe.
Oh,
yeah,
that
is a very cool shirt.
That is cool.
There's Wrath of Khan. Yeah, I got a bunch of betas
over
here.
So does betas. Yeah.
Yep. I never had a beta player. I've only got a couple.
We are graced with the devil horn.
Hey, Max. Max, if you get some betas, then it'll be Beta Max.
Oh, ayo!
Dad joke extended. Nice.
Ayo!
That's like powering up before you go to the boss battle in a video game.
But I think, I think everyone's here what Matt has to say now.
Yeah, and then we are going to actually talk about what's the article from Deadline, what Zaslav actually did say. So,
I just think it's funny that they're that they're backpedaling as hard as they are, and they've sent out all their minions to try to discredit further. It's really funny.
Well,
that's all it is. That's all it is.
I don't think they have to ask anyone to do what they want to do.
What happened to Bradley in particular, I think, is disgusing. I don't understand why you
Bradley
would say something like that
and
get him involved. I think that's.
I think that went a little personal. Yeah.
There's no need to take it that personal. Like, if you get mad at Austin for criticizing you, that's one thing. Don't bring.
It's deflection, man. That's all there is. There's backpedaling and deflection, right? They back themselves into a corner on it, and then what are you going to do when it doesn't happen? You're going to backpedal.
Honestly,
hold on. I got to take a call.
All they need to do is just shut up. They don't need to explain anything. They're scoopers. If something they say doesn't happen, just shut the fuck up, and then everybody will forget. And then next week they'll have something else to have a scoop on.
Zeno, we talked about movies all last night. I know we do talk about movies.
It's kind of hard to forget.
I actually am interested in the actual news that came out from Zaslav with WB Discovery. That's interesting.
Boring as shit. Eddie, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say it's gonna be hard to forget if you built your channel, around one thing only. Restoration of the two movies. So if anything, if they're wrong, fuck, just forget it. I'm deleting my channel and make sure they don't ever see me again.
Yeah, no, because Enoch was right about everything you just said.
You heard it here first from me, Eddie.
You don't hear them talking about any of other Zack's
if I was
forms or artwork.
Yeah,
you don't even hear them talk about Watchmen, the greatest Zack Snyder movie ever made. You know what I mean?
Moon. They've talked about Rebel Moon.
Not nearly
except
as
for
much,
maybe
though.
Justice League.
Not nearly
About
as
300.
No, know. Well, there's not
Barely.
as much to know about it, though. Yeah.
No, they talk about Zack Snyder's DC.
It doesn't stop them talking about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Or the Snyderverse. Doesn't stop that. They don't know anything about that either, but they make stuff up all day about it.
All right, Matt, did you have something to add? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's like, look, if you read what they write or what Mikey writes on his website and then what Sil does on Twitter and on the thing, they create this layer of deniability that allows them to kind of like, just kind of dodge around it. And then you get people
it allows them to swim freely between the lies.
yeah, and then you get like Zod, who's all like, I just want to talk about video games. That's what he says. No, Zod wants to do that. And then he's out there like, attacking people. But no, well, I mean, they're live right now, which is what I'm talking about. They're running defense right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I knew it. See, I knew.
And like, that's the thing is like, Sil was going to do a scoop center tonight because he wanted to capitalize on this upfront that they were pimping up for days.
I actually thought that's really revealing if there's no special stream for today. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to be honest with you, Max, because we are all here on this panel right now. Everybody on this panel gives a shit about you. I'm going to be honest. I don't think either of those dudes that you keep standing up for give a fuck about you. They never support your channel. They never shout you out. They never come on. They never try to talk to you. They don't even acknowledge the fact that you do
actually,
Max are calling you.
Actually, you know what? I think it's very revealing that
hold on.
The unfollow part, that one's suspicious, though. Let's not deny that.
Let me say this.
Chris, I don't like what you did there because
and you just told me they unfollowed you.
It's true though. They only support you when you defend them. That's the only time you see them support you. Other than that, they don't give a fuck about you.
Listen,
let me just say this.
They were on Team MME. They're frustrated with the back and forth consistently. They're doing their own thing, and that's cool. And I don't want to direct it towards them. They're not the ones.
I think it's very revealing that Sil, with as large of a Snyder platform as he has, did not support Project Justice League in any way. I think that speaks a lot of volumes. That's all.
Somebody in the chat that side wasn't going to. That's the thing. Project Justice League, was done by some guys who did a really good job. Last year everybody gave them hell over, that whole project trying to do the motion comic and everything, which I still say that they didn't deserve. There were some bad elements into it. There were some people who were involved that had to be weeded out, but then everybody came together and made their own thing, did something very well. They did it for fans. They did it for people who just loved the movie and wanted to see it, the written continuation of it in a motion comic. And they did it for a good cause to raise money for AFSP.
Absolutely.
But the problem is you're talking about people who have nothing better to do than just prop themselves up under the guise of the Snyderverse movement.
And
so they become the leaders. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to say it. Y'all became the leaders so far of that corner of your movement. And that's all they care about. They don't care about the greater good. They don't care about that kind of stuff. I mean, look, you don't even have to like the four nerds or anything like that. But the reality is that the motion comic is fine. It's fun. It's something that you can enjoy. It doesn't take away from Zach's work. I saw people complaining for the last few months, like, I hope that they fail. I hope that they don't do that because it could hurt us getting that future. Really? So people making a fan film is going to somehow hurt the future of the actual film if it actually happened? Bullcrap. You know how many fan films are made every day, or videos that just people make, or motion comics or whatever? Yeah. People are taking this stuff way too seriously. And I'm sorry, but I've been a part of this for 2.5 years, and I've just hit a boiling point with it where I'm just absolutely done with it. Where it's like, look, if you want the stuff to happen, great, but stop bitching and moaning every time that somebody does something or says something that's not in your camp, or just going off on people and treating people like crap and treating people like garbage just because they like something or don't like something or whatever. It's not about the thing anymore. It's no longer about it. I'm sorry, but for these people, it's not about Zach. It's not about Autumn. It's not about AFSP. It's not about any of that stuff. It's literally all about, hey, how can we garner something for ourselves? The thing that they accuse every effing person else about is their own sin. And that's the thing. And I'm absolutely sick of all that nonsense, And so it's BS.
No, it's very well said. It took Abu Nas speaking up on the panel saying he gave a shout out to Project Justice League for Sil to even acknowledge he said, oh, I didn't watch it.
Of course not.
I said a long time ago that all of this Snyderverse has absolutely nothing to do with Zack Snyder or anything that he's created. It's its own little weird. It's a weird thing. I don't know what it speaks.
It's a catalyst. It's a catalyst.
Dude, psychology of the people that are involved with it.
I said that too, and I get made the bad guy. So it is what it is. People, look,
Rodney, I'd tell Geralt and Mercury the same thing. Like they all need to check themselves and how they've been, because they make the rest of us look bad. I just met the guy who plays Vigilante on Peacemaker this last weekend.
Pierce Stroma, he's awesome.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I met him, and it was an awesome conversation. We went up and talked to him and everything. I would have got a picture with him, but he had like the barrier thing and was only doing the professional photo thing. But the thing is that we talked about it, and he brought up like the Snyderverse, right? And like how they all loved like how everything came out, but they're just trying to make good DC content, right? But they're very aware of people who are just trying to sabotage that and trying to attack that and everything. And I just assured him, man, I just said, for God's sake, man, just know that there are people who are not like that they are rational, that we love the Snyderverse. I love what Zach did. I would love for him to continue if it's all possible. And we all just kind of nodded our head yes and everything. We all had that great thank you, Senor Nerd. We all had that great moment and stuff. But like this thing of like, oh, they're just trying to destroy Zach's work. They're not trying to destroy Zach's stuff. Everything has become this personal vendetta crap where it's like everybody's just trying to destroy this or hurt this or purposely, sabotage Zach or the Snyderverse people, and everything means something, for God's sake. I don't know. I mean, it's so dumb.
All right.
Stop going down that rabbit hole.
What I'm trying to find now is what Zaslav said. I know Sil was tweeting it out. I'm trying to get the quotes from Zaslav today because I really want to discuss.
One of them was the Wall Street Journal article that came out.
Talking about DC though, did he talk about DC at all? Even though
there was an article from the Hollywood Reporter that talked about the Wonder Twins.
Hollywood Report.
Wonder Twins and HBO Max.
But did he also say that Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman are a focus? That's the one I'm trying to find.
No, he did. He said something about DC Comics and its potential.
Yeah.
And he mentioned like 3 character names, and that was it.
He said DC Comics, and yeah, that's about it.
But no, but the specific characters that is relevant.
Well, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's extremely relevant.
That's the Holy Trinity. Yep. Of course, it's
that should be established before anything else is done.
He doesn't have to worry about Batman.
I know. I'm looking forward to the new Superman. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're implying it's not Cavill.
It's not Cavill. It's not Cavill. No, I'm telling you that right now. It's not Cavill.
That's as conspiracy theory as
they are. No, man. I'm telling you right now, it ain't Cavill.
Isn't he contractually obligated to do another movie?
Only if they want him to. Only if they want him to.
With you, Matt. This is where the pot is calling the kettle black, because you're saying that it doesn't mean Cavill. It's just you don't know that. And why?
No, I'm saying I'm telling you.
All the people that say that.
I love this how he thinks that I don't want Cavill. I'm just telling you what I think. And I'm telling you, I want Cavill to come back too. I want more Snyderverse. This doesn't matter like what I want.
No, this is where you're severe leaps of lack.
No. If you know, Max, if you go and you look at what Zaslav said today about how much money he wants to spend, he doesn't want to spend more than $35 million for HBO Max content. So there goes anything with the Snyderverse, because that's way too expensive for that. He wants to limit the amount of budgets that are spent for theatrical. And so $150 million movie may be a little bit too high in the budget for right now. And eventually
budgets are a concern, but that doesn't mean when he says Superman is a focus, that doesn't mean
I'll give you here's my take on this one. If Black Adam and Shazam can actually yield a profit because they're both produced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Danny Garcia, who is Henry Cavill's agent, then maybe they could make something work. That's only if the budget's on the table. And that's only if Warner, because Warner is not going to do what they did with Joker, which is like have no faith in the property and bring in outside investors to pony up the rest of the dough, who got a massive percentage of that $1.1 billion take home. So they're not going to do that again. It's in their best financial interest to recast both Superman and Wonder Woman and move on to something else. Like literally.
That's in
their best. That's their best financial investment.
Leap of logic.
It's not a leap of logic. It's not a leap of logic.
I was gonna bring up the article about
Well, let me ask you this real quick, Max.
Yep.
How much money do you think it cost Warner Brothers from 2016 to 2021 to finish Zack Snyder's vision? All of it.
I never said it wasn't going to be expensive. Whenever you talk about these characters, it's always going to be expensive, especially if you bring the Justice League back.
So don't you think?
Well, I
think at this point, Ezra would probably work for peanuts, and so would Amber, because she's going to be out of work here pretty soon.
Amber's not. It costs money.
Amber's contract's done. She's
But
Amber like her hallmark.
To say that when Zaslav says we want Superman as our priority, to immediately jump to the next step where you're saying that means the other Superman, that's not factual. That's an opinion. Yes, it's going to be significant to get.
But did I at any point in time say that it's factual? I'm saying that based upon the information, my speculation is that they're going to recast Henry Cavill. I don't want it, but Henry is busy. He's got Argyle. He's got the Highlander. Got more of the Witcher. There's probably going to be a third Enola Holmes.
Isn't there a room for discussion?
He turns 40 in like the next couple of years.
This is why I wanted to find the. This is why I wanted to find the quote.
He's in the running for James Bond.
It talks about.
I have the.
He's in the running for James Bond.
That's true. He is in the running for James Bond.
I have.
Poor RJ just wants to get his article up, guys.
It literally has some information here.
I hear like 5 people talking at the same time. Is just like my computer glitching. What's wrong?
No, it's Max not wanting to ever listen to anyone's voice other than his own.
I'll let him talk. I mean, like he let people talk, but like everybody's talking, so there you go.
That's why I want to say that that's where I want to get the context of him talking about the main characters, and then he's obviously canceling other projects with less significant characters that may not justify the cost.
Thank God.
There's an argument to be had about if Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman justify the cost, and I think most of the time you could say, in my opinion, in others' opinion, that they do normally justify the cost. So that doesn't mean just because he's canceling the Wonder Twins that he doesn't want to pay Cavill.
The characters justify the cost.
I think that the recent box office success and the streaming success of the Batman shows that there is value in having a big budget behind those characters. So I don't see what the argument.
Well, but the Batman was even lower budget comparatively speaking. It did have an inflated budget due to reshoots and COVID, but initially it had $100 million budget.
Oh, this is a bad take, Crazy Joe. Oh my God.
Nah, she ain't going nowhere.
She's not going anywhere.
She ain't going nowhere.
What are you talking about?
Hold on though. She just said her contract's up after this, and she doesn't even know she's going to be in the final cut of the movie coming out this year. Next year.
They
were out of the courtroom yesterday.
They were talking about that on the Campia show yesterday. He was saying he has firsthand information that's BS.
Well, I won't stand behind Joe saying that. But I just don't. I think that they're going to let her finish out this last movie. She'll probably get a reduced role. She'll probably be in and out. But if they're really bringing in Aquaman's kid, they got to bring in. They got to bring in the mom. Like so,
like to kill her.
Oh, they're not going to kill her.
She's going to win that trial, and then they're really not going to have any grounds.
Well, okay.
Oh man, that is
she's not going to win.
That's a hot take right there.
I don't think she's going to win. But I don't think she's gonna. I don't think Johnny Depp is gonna get $50 million. I think I could see Johnny winning, and then the judge going like a $1, $1 punitive damage.
I would be astounded if he won. I don't see any scenario.
Have you not paid attention?
What?
Like, I mean,
yeah, but how's he gonna win that? I mean, he
just
he
watch
already
it.
lost the British.
Hold on, Max. I don't even care about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing, and I know. Like just from what's out there, from what she said, what he said, like the massive amounts of just cringeworthy stuff that's come out of
74 people watching.
And I believe that they're both guilty. I believe that they both abused each other, and he's being narcissistic as hell, sitting there and giggling and laughing and pointing and doing things. I mean, like really that he shouldn't be doing. But she's still gonna lose that thing. But I don't think that this has anything to do with anything other than. He just wants to win. Like, that's the point. If he wins and he's won over the public opinion, that's all that matters. So he can go on. Yeah, I mean, she's not going to have $50 million to give him, for God's sake, you know? Yeah, no, dude, no, man. No.
This is about repairing his image. I agree with Enosh on that one.
All right.
And he's got you cannot buy this level of positive publicity. You know,
No.
I mean, like, if Disney does not bring him back as Captain Jack after this, they are losing.
Oh, he doesn't want to do that anyways.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
I don't believe that's a lie.
Anything for the mouse's check, man.
I don't believe that's a lie at all.
If they pay him enough, they'll do it.
If they pay him enough, yeah.
If he comes away from this, looking as quote unquote clean as he pretends to look with everything that's come out, you know, with Amber Heard on her stand, he's gonna be walking around Hollywood with a blank check because there's gonna be a lot of people that are becoming after.
Well, this is
because whoever gets that first movie that he does, that movie's gonna blow up.
Yep.
It's just gonna blow up. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is.
don't want to work with him after this, though.
What?
A lot of people.
He's coming off so bad in this trial.
What are you talking about?
What?
I don't understand that.
Are you sure you're
Crazy
keeping
Joe,
up with
you're
the trial?
derailing the stream here, bro.
I mean, like,
I'm not
are
gonna say
you
he's coming off
listening
good,
to Phil, whatever his last name is, Unfiltered's coverage of it, because that's
don't
very
bring other
biased.
people.
What?
Yeah,
No, he's pro Amber Heard. He's pro Amber Heard. He's literally the only person in this space that's pro Amber Heard.
Eddie, you did a video. What was the
Look,
petition up to?
I'll admit that
how many millions
I
of people was the petition already to get her out of there?
Yeah,
It's
but
like
here's the
4
thing.
or
I
5
believe.
million.
Look,
No,
I believe some of the stuff that she's saying is absolutely true. That he did to her. That he did those things, and I think some of the things that she's saying is over the top because I think that they both abused each other.
Yeah, they were in a toxic relationship.
They were in a
One another.
horribly toxic relationship. They both, probably messed each other over horribly. And the thing is, there's some things that she said that I could absolutely see, especially with his reaction to some of the stuff. It's classic narcissism where and I've seen too much of that for people like that. They know they're kind of getting away with something. So I feel like he knows in the public spectrum, like he's untouchable right now with most people. And so, yeah, there may be some of that's true, but he's laughing all his way through the whole thing. And, it's no, dude, there's, I love you, man, but there's just no way that, that she's winning that. I mean, like I don't know how you see that.
I don't see any way he could win. I don't.
Can you just help us all based on what?
Well,
Based on the fact that
Judge, he's admitted to lying multiple times, a lot of times. So
what's he suing her for? He's
Defamation?
suing her for defamation. And how are you going to prove that he did not? First of all, he already lost the UK case.
She wrote that op-ed.
Yeah, that UK case was kind of weird, though.
Is he going to prove that's not true?
The UK case was about the son calling him a wife beater. That wasn't about what she had written. I mean, they speculated that he was a wife beater after the article came out. What he's trying to prove is that like he never abused her.
Yeah, how's he going to
in the way that she's claiming?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is he said versus she said, but when it's like, hey, listen, then they go like, so what's up with your you have these bruises here the day before, and then here you go to this event the next day, and the bruises are gone. What did you use to cover them up with? And she's like, oh, here's this makeup palette, and then the company made it's like, yo, that came out like after. Like don't drag us in your stuff. It's like there's been a lot of things. Never mind the Kate Moss thing is big.
So many lies, man.
The Kate Moss thing is big. When she mentioned
weird stuff,
the rumor that Johnny had thrown Kate Moss down a flight of stairs, and Johnny's lawyers are like, yes, because they can now bring that up as evidence and have Kate Moss come in and be a witness and stuff. So it's like, no, Amber. Look, the thing is, here's what Amber should do. She should just confer with her lawyers and go, let me just work with the judge. We'll just, I'll admit that I have a substance abuse problem, that I've gone through multiple issues. I'm going to go seek help and seek therapy, and then disappear for like 5 years.
It's been known to have issues in the past.
We'll settle out of court, and I'll go back to UK where they actually believe my shit. And I'll do movies out there.
So this is the quote from Zaslav about DC. He said, DC Comics and all we can do with it, says Zaslav, calling out the roster of Warner Brothers and Discovery verticals, adding the names of the specific superheroes they can use.
Yes.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Yes.
Those are the 4 that they mentioned.
My interpretation is there's room for interpretation in these comments. Mine is focused on those and not some of these other characters that don't justify it yet, like Wonder Twins, some of these little projects.
And I've been trying to bring up this Wonder Twins.
But that doesn't mean there's not that doesn't mean there's not money for Cavill.
Everyone knows, RJ. It got clipped.
No, I know, but it's this part right here. Sources say
I got a jet, guys, but thanks.
I'll see you, bro. Sources say the decision to shut the project down occurred several
he
weeks
really
ago.
didn't want to talk about Wonder Twins, did he?
According to insiders, the leadership of Warner Bros. Discovery, the new company, blah, 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 is imposing a mandate that DC movies should now be made with a theatrical first goal.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's Zaslav's new mandate, that they need
What's
to be
wrong with
theatrical
that?
first.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, no.
And if you think you can't make a halfway decent show for $35 million, what the hell?
That's what I say. That's
All right, well,
look.
let's get to the
These movies
context.
need to get back to these movies need to get back to the basics, anyways. And the thing is yes, the streaming stuff. No, they shouldn't be investing $75 million freaking dollars.
I disagree.
In a Wonder Twins movie.
Well, no,
not in a Wonder Twins
I
movie.
agree
We're
with
not
that.
even at the place where we need a Wonder Twins movie that's disconnected from everything, anyways.
Listen.
Well, I won't agree with that.
I agree.
Look,
with
I
that
love the Wonder
specific
Twins. I got
project.
their set over here. I got
That
tons of
specific
Wonder Twins
project-
toys and everything else, but we are not in the place where we need a freaking Wonder Twins movie.
Well, we don't need any movie. We don't.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Hold
You
on,
have to
Max. Well,
establish.
Max-
I'm sorry, Max. I want to get this back to you, but listen. Come on, man. The whole point that Zaslav is making, and it's the point that a lot of us have been saying for a long time. A lot of us have been saying this, and everybody wants to say no. And now Zaslav himself is saying this. We have got to establish our world. We cannot be doing all these fringe things that DC has been throwing out for so long, random characters that make no sense within the continuity or were not even there, right? It would be like Marvel, when Marvel started kicking and things were going good and they had some things established, that all of a sudden they throw out an Ant-Man movie that's not connected to anything, that nobody cares
Or
about
Captain
Ant-Man or
Marvel
nothing.
movie.
Okay? Yeah, or just like some random
Frogman
character that they're
movie.
bringing out right now, right? Yeah, like Frogman, whatever, right? That doesn't make any
Kite Man
sense.
movie's
Like
never gonna happen.
diehard fans are gonna go, yeah. Look, Joe, I'm right with you. Look, I love the Wonder Twins. Like I said, I got all kinds of Wonder Twins toys. I remember the Wonder Twins. But here's the thing: you don't introduce a lower tier level character like that, theatrical or otherwise, when you haven't even established your world and what it is, and
But they
nobody
have
knows what
established
you're
the world.
doing. Nobody knows. You don't do it. That's why Zaslav is saying we got to get back to the basics. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You have to establish the Trinity. You build out from there. You make sense. Look, even if you recast Cavill, if you recast everybody, at least give us
if you reboot, and that's whatever. Just
yeah,
start
if
with the
you
foundation
reboot and you
first.
restart over, okay? Because apparently,
don't
you know,
do
like
that.
even if that happens, I'm just saying you have to have those three characters established well, and then you build out, because those three started it. You get the
Well, it's like
Justice
Marvel.
League
It's
from
like
there.
Marvel. What
You
do they do
start
first?
you start adding characters, and then later down the road, guess what? You can add a Blue Beetle, because Blue Beetle makes sense in your continuity, and people go, okay, you've done well with these. I'm going to come in. Then all of a sudden you're going to go, hey, here's the, like, once you're way down the line, right? And you've established all your characters in your universe and people know what the hell you're doing. Then you go, hey, here's the Wonder Twins. Here's something fun, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that the rest can't be fun. I'm just saying it's like you can do that then, but you still
build your foundation
$75 million for a Wonder Twins
Well, yeah, I
movie?
mean, well, to your
Yeah,
point,
and look at the-
Marvel,
look at the
Marvel
movies
did
right now.
Iron
The
Man,
movies-
Captain America, and Thor first.
The
That's what they
movies,
did.
the characters, the fandom, and the timeline are so fractured right now.
It's about the
You don't go build a
CGI.
brand new pool when your house is in shambles.
It's
You
about
they
the
gotta fix
CGI.
the
It's
foundation.
Right, they're not.
first.
They're not focusing on the foundation. But what I want
I
to
just
say
want
before
Polka Dot Man
before-
movie, okay?
Before
It's not-
RJ goes, is I think it is important to invest in HBO Max.
Art for making good films that go to streaming, right? That story. And here's the thing: everything on HBO Max doesn't have to be DC movies, right? Everything doesn't like make new IP. Most of the IP that we all love now, all these movies and TV shows and everything like that, started off as movies that were just given a shot and given a low budget. Like even Star Wars, when it ran over budget, what did George Lucas do? He sacrificed and he cut his own salary, and he ended up making one of the greatest deals in movie history by actually taking 100% of the merchandising rights and traded that for part of his salary so he could finish his movie, because the company told him, absolutely, we're not giving you any more money. Fox was like, nope, we're not giving you any more cash. And so what did he do? He did that, and he made the best deal possible. But let's go back to movie making days when people had to literally work for what they were doing, right? When people had to literally find workarounds, make stuff, because you know what comes out of that? Treasure. Some of the greatest movies in history are born out of lower budgets where they had to figure out how to do stuff instead of everything just now. It's like nobody cares about story. Everybody's just like, hey, we can throw a bunch of special effects.
There's an audio issue. I don't know. 2 people are saying there's an audio issue.
I hear you.
I hear.
All right, we gotta let RJ go. Man, woo.
No. Yeah, Ty's saying the same thing. Buffering. Everyone's saying that there's an issue with the stream.
Huh.
For me.
Can someone
right,
check?
Go ahead, RJ. Read what you're gonna read. See if anyone complains. Still, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm checking to see what's going on because I want to make sure the stream's actually working before I say anything.
No, it says it's good now. Well, that boy says it's good.
Okay. So this is the article saying this is from the Wonder Twins article. I thought this is a really important blurb to read. It said at the same time, one source said the budget was too high for what was considered an HBO Max movie. Wonder Twins was looking at a $75 million budget, but according to sources, Zaslav wants to keep all HBO Max original movies $35 million and under. He has concluded that higher budgeted offerings do not add enough value, i.e., add a significant number of subscribers, and more modestly budgeted movies seem to do the job of retaining subs.
Yep.
Original theatrical movies, however, do gangbusters job of attracting subscribers, with The Batman being a huge hit for the service, according to several sources.
Okay.
So basically, he's saying you don't need to spend a bunch of money to retain subs or grow subs. You can have it be bought, but modestly budgeted, middle budget movies, and they can do the job just fine.
Quality, man. It's about quality. The movies.
So we have go ahead, Crazy Joe.
You know what you can make for under 35 million? A finale film for Legends of Tomorrow, so it doesn't end on a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, I hope it doesn't. Yeah.
Polka Dot Man spin-off series.
Well, here's two things working against each other.
Oh, yeah, they did end the season, Joe, right?
So I will give Matt Jarbo props. He's right about the cost cutting. Obviously, he is cost cutting, but there's two things going against each other: the need to go for the foundation for Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Justice League, and not these supplemental stuffs that don't justify the costs, and then the need to cut budgets. But they need to do both.
I wanted to share this as well.
It still doesn't mean that there's not room for continuation of the Justice League, Darkseid, Cavill. Yeah. It doesn't mean that.
Because those can be events. Those can be events.
But there are, because there's a need to have conclusion to that and focus on the foundation. Yeah. He consistently brings up the Trinity. Consistently.
Yeah, and
those
the truth
are
is,
important for your foundation.
Even if you don't, those movies always are events. They always are.
Plus, look at how Warner Brothers did not promote Zack Snyder's Justice League at all. It was all put on Zack and the fans to promote it, to push it out there, to do that. Listen, you can build something up. If you cut costs on all these other things that don't make any sense, that you know is not going to make any money, which I think was really great that he pointed out that Clint Eastwood movie, right?
Yeah, I was going to get to that actually.
Because the Clint Eastwood thing, that shows a point right there, that like he comes in and he's basically asking the questions that a lot of us have been asking about some of these DC films and other films and everything, is like, and it's not just DC, by the way, it's just movies in general. Like, why are we spending this much money on stuff? Why are we greenlighting things when we know ahead of time that it's not really something that's needed or wanted or is even going to do well? Like, why? Just because somebody did something good for us in the past doesn't mean that we're just going to like greenlight everything that they want to do. We have to have proven stuff so that we can, and we have to develop our own stuff at lower cost so that we can build it up, because the sequels, if you do something that does really super well, you can always bump up the sequel. That's what used to happen. Now we got these over the top movies.
Don't be Netflix.
It's ridiculous.
Well, this is the Wall Street Journal article saying there's a new media mogul tearing up Hollywood.
And all these filmmakers need to stop going into every IP trying to turn it into a franchise right away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, this is the article saying this is a new media mogul tearing up Hollywood. Zaz is not particularly patient. CEO David Zaslav quickly put a stamp on Warner Bros. Discovery weighing in on content, forcing out executives and cutting costly projects. So this is the quote that Enosh was talking about, saying,
Why is it bad? I don't understand why people are looking at it bad. I guarantee you he shakes up the whole thing and that they do super well because of it, because this is what they've needed.
Who is saying this is bad?
No, well, there's people today
I don't
complaining
know.
about it.
Well, there's
saying,
gonna be
saying
people, including-
that Zach or that David Zaslav is ruining the whole thing, that he's cutting all this, that he's not going to do these movies that we want and all this stuff. That's not what he's saying. He's saying we are going to cut costs on stuff that doesn't make sense to do.
Did you see how mad people got when he said that he wanted to cap the 35 million? He wanted to put a $35 million cap on original programming for HBO Max.
Well, it depends.
That doesn't mean that you're going to get a $35 million Superman movie.
Well, no, of course not. No, of course not.
People are going to run with the narrative that this means that there's no room for Cavill, there's no room to continue anything, and that's not necessarily true.
And I agree with you, Max.
There's obstacles for sure. There's obstacles, but he could be cutting the fat to make room to
I think he's cutting
work
the
on the
fat
foundation.
I think he's cutting the fat. I think he's cutting the fat, Max, to make room for those big cinematic.
Yes. That's another possibility. But I already see Matt Jarbo running with the narrative that he slaps away the Snyderverse. I see the
that's his
thumbnail.
opinion. It's fine, but I
No.
just
I'm just saying. But that is. It's.
I mean, I think trying
Yeah.
to cut costs or trying to cut costs to make maximum profits can be a double-edged sword. It depends on how they run things. I don't know.
Not with as much fat has been over at Warner Brothers. I'm going to be honest with you, man. They have run such a stupid business over there.
Warner
man.
Brothers has been one of the worst major studios
Thank
as
you,
far as
Deb.
putting out consistently quality content. They are all over the map. Like sometimes
seriously.
What is
I would
going on?
disagree in your video
Thank
game
you, Devin. Thank you, Devin.
I
They
disagree
have been all over the place, consistently inconsistent, and they don't know what to do with their own properties. They don't know how to they haven't known how to maximize their profits. They've thrown money at stuff that's just silly because people have come in and told them, well, this is how we're supposed to do it. This is how we should do it. We got this and this and this. And I love the fact that Zaslav is coming in and going, what the heck are you guys doing?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to read. I was going to read this real quick. It says, days into his role as CEO, David Zaslav gathered the movie studio executives and grilled them. Supposedly, he yelled at them, saying he grilled them about a recent string of box office flops, including Cry Macho, a Clint Eastwood neo-Western. Warner Brothers executives conceded that they had doubted the movie would turn a profit. People familiar with the meeting said. Why, Mr. Zaslav asked, was Cry Macho made if they had reservations at all? When they replied that Mr. Eastwood had given the studio many hits and never delivered a movie late or over budget, he answered, we don't owe anyone any favors. It's not friends, it's show business, he told them.
And isn't that their job? Like, isn't that
isn't
a director's job to deliver a movie on time and
not over budget?
And not over budget? Like I'm sorry, but that's like asking you to just like, hey, do the bare minimum of what you're supposed to do.
That's also
Sorry,
like a major way of how a lot of Hollywood works. It's like, if you can deliver on time and under budget consistently, the projects that we give to you, they will grant you your pet project.
Well,
like
also
a lot
too,
of pet projects get funded
literally
that
Clint
way.
Eastwood,
And it's Clint Eastwood.
It's Clint
you
Eastwood.
know,
They're not gonna, they weren't.
I get it. I get it. I definitely get it.
I
Clint's
understand.
90 years old. We don't know much time.
I got mixed feelings on that statement there because yes, they are looking to run a business, but at the same time, art, sometimes you have to take a swing.
Nope.
What do you mean,
Here's
nope?
why.
This
Here's
is
why. You take a chance on those $35 million movies and you give the creatives, right? Those people that you want to give a chance to, you let them make a movie based on their creativeness, not on the big budgeted, bloated CGI stuff that they can put out there.
That's not what Cry Macho was. That
no,
wasn't
I'm
a
not
big
saying
bloated
that. I'm not saying
CGI.
that. But what I'm saying is you don't do that. Like I've been hearing all this stuff about creatives and stuff and creatives and blah, 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 creatives. Well, if they're really creative, have them make a movie that makes sense within their budget and prove themselves. You don't do that. And if you know that the movie is not viable and that it's not really going to make you money and it's not going to be profitable based upon just the movie itself, and somebody has to ask, why are we making this movie? from the beginning, like, and then it fails anyways. Like, obviously he's privy to information where obviously there were people behind the scenes who were questioning it, but they were just like, well, it's Clint Eastwood, so let's just do it. He's done good for us before, so let's just go ahead and do it.
All right,
that's not how you run a successful business. It doesn't matter who's creative. If you do something that you know is not going to work, don't do it.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because when you're talking about an artistic
That's why they've been
endeavor-
sold twice within the last 10 years.
Yeah, but it's not just Warner Brothers; it's every studio. You do have to take chances because it.
But
it
not with your
is-
big budget, you don't.
Yeah, but was
'Cause you
Cry
lose money.
Macho a big budget? Did they
It
say
was
what the
30
budget
million.
was on that?
It was 30 million. Its box office was 13.
Well, I think Max is trying to say something.
Oh no, I just want to stay on topic because we have other topics to cover, and it's almost 2
go ahead,
hours.
Max.
It's almost 2
Okay.
hours.
Yeah, but like I said, they're just talking about like they're making it clear spending needs to be reined in. That's the biggest thing that they're kind of talking about. I mean, that article is really good. I can recommend everyone
I
read
watched it, and I'm usually biased towards Clint Eastwood, but it's a bad movie. It's not.
And to the point about like the creatives, like that's what Blumhouse and A24 are for at this point.
Thank
Like,
you.
There are those studios that do those films, and like there's plenty of opportunities for
Blumhouse is
those
great. They
kinds of
produce great
movies.
movies of late.
Yeah.
A24 is killing it lately, man.
I mean,
Like,
they
really are.
produce great movies of like Blumhouse, like the past few years.
Absolutely,
tremendous movies.
Absolutely,
And low
absolutely.
budget.
Like
Low
and the
budget.
way that like these big studios are going is and I've mentioned this in the past before. It's a lot like what happened in video games, where these studios they just want blockbusters because that gives them their biggest return on investment.
Well, let's put it in this
Disney, right?
conversation
That's Disney.
before we go on to other topics. Let's give our final thoughts on this. Those all these comments from Zaslav, it makes it where budget is a major concern, but also don't lose your logic there when he consistently talks about the Trinity. These are the foundation of the DCEU. There is room for them. Can they justify the cost with all the cost-cutting measures? That's what my final takeaway is. There's two things working against each other. There's a need to continue and to focus on the Trinity and the Justice League and Darkseid, maybe even the main characters, and any project needs to be justified. That doesn't mean that Justice League continuing is not justified, and there's high cost to that. But if they are going to do it, they have to make sure it's going to be profitable.
Yep.
There's difference of opinions if it's profitable or not to continue with Henry, Ben Affleck, Zach, and to giving some type of conclusion even without Zach. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. That means if they're going to do it, they have to make sure it's profitable and done right. That's my final thoughts on it. And I'd like to go around the panel before we go to other topics. Make sure everyone has a chance to get their words in. Crazy Joe, what's your final commentary on all this Zaslav talk? There's a lot of talk about cost-cutting measures, a lot of things that we're not giving favors. It has to be justified. This is show business. What's your thoughts, Crazy?
Well,
Joe.
I think it's a mixed bag. Some of it sounds really good, but you do have to trust the creatives as well. If you're just if you're doing nothing but chasing the profit, then you're going to make movies that look good on paper, and that doesn't necessarily work either. Like, I mean, look at Morbius. That made a lot of sense on paper. It's a superhero movie. They're big. We got big stars, Jared Leto, but that didn't work. I mean,
I think Zaslav would have cut Morbius.
All right,
Yeah,
but
me too.
You gotta have. So I don't know. It's a mixed bag. The one thing he does say that I am
I think like this.
100% on board with is about the putting theatrical as the priority. That makes sense, and
I love that too, Crazy Joe.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on HBO Max. I want to justify my subscription.
But
I don't
you know
think
what?
just retaining customers is enough. I don't think that's enough.
But history shows that they get a better retention with series than with movies. So put that money into TV show like Peacemaker, like what was it?
HBO. I agree with you, Joe.
What was
I agree with you.
what was I didn't see it yet, but people are saying Winning Time.
Winning Time, yeah, I watched
terrific. Put that money into series. I
It's a
think
good
that makes more
series.
sense.
Yeah.
All right.
HBO's the best at that right now. Like they're the best. streaming
We're
service
going to get to brother, but I want to make sure we get everyone get a chance on this before we move on. Devin, what's your final thoughts on all the cost-cutting measure talk, the focus on Zaslav has consistently said Superman's a focus. There's two things working against each other. The need to focus on your foundation that may be expensive. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. What's your final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I said earlier that when reading all of this, that I like the cut of his jib, because this is exactly what I think Warner Brothers needs. As far as like focusing on the artist and letting them like do their thing, I think that kind of comes hand in hand with this, because a major point of contention, and we probably aren't privy to this, but maybe we'll get some news articles about it in the future. But Warner Brothers is also notorious for meddling. And they've had some pretty bad executives that have done some pretty bad meddling in the past. And maybe Zaslav cleans that up too. Maybe this actually creates an environment where creatives have a little bit more freedom than they may have had in past Warner Brothers studios. So, I mean, I think that this is definitely the right start. Like, this is off on the right foot. And we'll see how it pans out. I agree with you that, you know, the move to theatrical makes the most sense. And I agree that they definitely need to focus on some on HBO's shows. And I'm not really worried about that, because HBO has always been really good at putting out quality premiere TV. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So I think in general, this is the best first move that could have been made after that acquisition.
All right, Enosh, if you would give your final thoughts on this, the talk about cost-cutting measures, but also the need for the main foundations of your superhero. DCEU, if you're talking about foundations, that means Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yep. So
it's not gonna be cheap.
I agree with Devin. I think that this should actually help creatives to show that they are creative. Right? Nobody's saying that they're going to take away from creatives. They're saying we're changing the way that we do business. We're going to take away the bloat. We're going to take away the films that don't make sense for us to make. Okay? Hopefully this ushers in a new time of getting movies that make sense and a more consistent Warner Brothers, as far as the content that we get, that we don't just get a bunch of nonsense. And especially that affects not just DC fans, it affects the movies in general. And I love the commitment to theatrical. I love that commitment to theatrical. Everybody running around going, oh, it's never going to come back. And things are never going to be. Look, 2 years ago, we all had friends that were streaming with us that were telling us stuff was never going to come back. Stuff was never going to be. You know what? I just got back from Comic-Con, man. And you know what? I was shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of nerds, and we were having a great time. And Alicia Silverstone gave me a hug. So guess what?
Oh,
I think I'm good.
Also.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So here's the thing.
All this gloating.
I know.
Man, I
you know who else gave me a hug? Matthew
No,
Lillard.
I don't want to know.
Matthew Lillard gave me a hug.
Oh, Shaggy, awesome.
Oh, Matthew Lillard, awesome.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard. But here's the thing. No, listen, and I met William Shatner. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. But here's the thing.
Just all the flexing going on right now.
I know. But here's the thing. No, I think that it's going to be a better, leaner, trimmer, but not in a weak sense, in a strong sense. They're going to get strong, and that's what they should do, because for too long, Warner Brothers has been sitting around eating potato chips, okay, and drinking 2 liters of Coke, you know, and just getting bloated and farting out movies that don't make sense. You know, sitting on the couch, just passing gas and sending us all, you know, on these things that don't make any sense. And so I love what Zaslav has been saying. I love the way that he's approaching it. I love the fact that he's addressing, like you said, Max, the Trinity. Look, the Trinity has to be established. You have to establish if we are going to have any kind of healthy DC universe or DC films, DC properties, you have to start somewhere and build it out. And it cannot be like it's been. It has to be done right. You can't just throw every character up against the wall and hope that people are going to know, because people don't know who these characters are. You're talking about characters that, yes, mean something to DC fans, but nothing to the general public. And it has to be done right. And yes, I'm glad that he's letting people go who need to go. I'm glad that he's bringing his own team in. I don't believe that all the money that he's going to spend is just going to be on, you know, Dr. Pimple Popper. I think that they're going to do a good job with the money that they have. They're going to put it to good use. They're going to make some things that are really good. And I think that, yes, HBO Max, I do agree with Crazy Joe, though, that I think that you got to focus on some series on HBO Max. And I think that you have to focus on creating new things. Don't Don't just act like, well, you know, if they make
Heights is
35,
gonna
if
suck
they
if they
only
bring
do
it back.
$35 million, then we're not going to get this property or that property.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that. Make a new movie. You want to be creative, come up with a new concept and prove that concept by making just a good film under budget or on budget or whatever. That's what needs to be done. He's doing a great job with that, and I think the future's bright for both DC and for Warner Brothers. And I think that us as fans, look, even if we love the Snyderverse, even if that's what we want to see, which is definitely what I want to see, I've realized that I'm at a point, you know what? I don't want to see cheesy Superman anymore because I've seen the alternative and I love it. And but the thing is also don't get mad over every iteration of a character that comes out that's not the way that you like it. Realize that everything is not made for me. Everything is not made for you. Yes, for every Zack Snyder's Justice League that I love, right? You got to have a Super Pets, right? Is Super Pets made for necessarily every adult, you know, hardcore fan? No. But I'm going to go see it because I think it looks cute. I think it looks absolutely adorable, and I like the idea of it. And I can have fun with the characters as well. That's the beauty of these characters. These characters can be written in different ways, and every version doesn't have to be your favorite. Just stop bitching. Can we do that? Can we just have fun again and enjoy stuff? That's what I would like, and that's what I think is going to end up happening.
All right, RJ, your final thoughts on this?
And scoopers are dumb.
No, I like scoopers. I cover them,
Hey.
but I discuss it, and I'm having fun.
Fightful is not dumb.
RJ, I want to have scoopers on my channel in the future if possible. So
You already do. I work for the Ice Cream Man.
I know
All right.
Fightful, I know wrestling scoopers are legit.
RJ, go ahead.
RJ gave me the scoop that we're getting Fight Club 2.
No.
Yes, and Warner Brothers does make good stuff, but you know what? Warner Brothers makes a lot.
Oh no! Don't get out the actual scoop. That was used, Crazy Joe. Cut that out of there.
that's for my cat's litter box.
I don't want your cat
scooper. This is a scooper.
I don't.
I will keep saying the truth that Warner Brothers makes good stuff, but Warner Brothers is also, like Devin said, they're inconsistent. They're all over the place, and you never know if you're going to get something really good or something that you look back and go, I can't get that 2 hours back of my life.
Yeah, that's the Justice League. Yeah,
that's just the truth.
All right.
So wait, what was the question?
Your final thoughts on the two things working against each other: the cost-cutting measures, but you also need to work on your foundation. He consistently brings up.
I just want
Superman
good movies.
Yes.
I just want good movies. That's all I care about at the end of the day. Listen, I'm doing really well over in my little camp. I mean, I got this. You know, I always have this to go back on. So I mean, listen. Okay.
FCU.
Listen.
You have that? Yes.
I have that. I have that to enjoy this August. Okay.
Me too.
RJ was wearing the mocap suit for that, by the way.
Let's get woke.
God, I wish I looked that good, but I don't. No, but in all seriousness, though, I mean, the thing is, like, I just want good movies. I really love the Batman. I think a lot of people, well, I don't know. Enosh is kind of like, I don't know. My point is, I really like the movie. If they make more stuff like that, I'm cool with that. They'll make standalone movies. That's cool. You want to make an interconnected universe? That's cool. I hope Flash is good next year. I just don't know. I mean, the thing is, we're just in such a weird transitional period right now where it's like we're waiting and with bated breath to see what they do. I don't know. I really hope Zaslav. It's interesting because Zaslav is going back to old traditional Hollywood ideas, right? He's very much kind of like. It's interesting, like prioritizing the theatrical stuff or the streaming stuff. I think is a very interesting strategy overall. We'll see if it pays off. I think it could.
I'm hyped
I think it's interesting to see old Hollywood values kind of be applied to like the streaming world too. So we'll see. I mean, again, I think it's interesting. He wants to very much try and copy the corporate structure of Disney. A little bit of the creative too.
He needs to bring good content to streaming. Then
I just hope it doesn't become homogenized, right? Because the thing with Disney that Disney did is that Disney kind of like just gave up producing original movies. They used to make like those sports movies. They do like the Disney nature stuff, and that's really all streaming.
They still do that. They just release it to Disney Plus now.
Yeah, they don't do it in theaters anymore. The theater stuff is like pure. Well, except for Pixar and Disney Animation, their animation stuff that's still original. Other than that, it's all franchise stuff, right? So, I don't know. Things are just in a weird place. It's really hard to tell where things are going. I just want good movies. I mean, I know I'm getting the Batman too, so I got that to look forward to. I hope Shazam 2 is really good. I hope Black Adam's good. I still question those movies are going to ultimately matter, though.
Would we have got Black Adam if Zaslav was in charge?
Probably not, no. Because it's all
Probably
about
wouldn't have gotten Shazam.
Yeah. Probably not have gotten Shazam either, because it's about prioritizing the main heroes first and building them out.
No, but this is Dwayne Johnson we're talking about.
Because this looks amazing.
I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of the thing.
This is The Rock.
It's I just want good movies, and at the end of the day, I don't know. I just question whether or not these movies coming out this year and next year are going to matter, because they could be like the dying embers of a failed vision for these characters. You know,
This was the future, RJ.
I thought it was at one point. I thought it was. I thought they had the future set and stuff.
What Black Adam went to the Peacemaker?
They got a killer lineup right now.
By not going to pay for stuff, the response from the
No,
studio
I'm being serious though.
not doing anything.
At one point, it seemed like the future was clear.
Look
and
at
we had
Star
to
Wars.
Flash,
The
but not
response is
anymore.
you haven't had a Star Wars movie since Solo came out.
Which
Well,
I
no,
miss
came
Star
out,
Wars
sorry.
in theaters though. I genuinely
Yes.
miss it.
So
I
this
like
is the
being in
this
Star
is
Wars.
the
Yeah, we did. But
result.
Skywalker
Don't-
came after Solo.
Doesn't always go. Eddie, final thoughts on this? Have you been listening?
About the budget shit was asked off, all that stuff, the 35 million stuff.
All Zaslav's comments and them focusing on characters. What's your final takeaway from his comments?
I mean, it sounds like he's being cheap as hell, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, that's concerning. I'm a little concerned. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, they're definitely not trying to waste money, which is good. But at the same time, it's like, damn, like.
Oh, Crazy Joe said he might have to leave.
Oh,
thank you, Crazy.
Yeah, I'm taking off. But
Okay.
have a good night, everyone.
But that makes me think, what really can you do with that? Because I thought HBO Max was going to be a big thing, but if they're going to be limited to like not really that much big budget stuff on that streaming service when it comes to original content, like TV doesn't even count. Isn't even that much, especially with the Discovery stuff. That reality TV stuff, that's going to be easy to make. But when it comes to like DC stuff, I guess they're definitely not going to have exclusive DC movies on HBO Max anytime soon. But like with theatrical, it looks like he's probably not even willing to waste that much money either. I don't know. I know in terms of DC, maybe it's just for stuff that he's not on board yet with. Like it was something like established.
You really have to justify it to him. He seems like if there's a project, regardless of what it is, Snyderverse, what if you bring a project to him, it really has to be justified to.
Yeah.
He's just
He's basically saying to people at Warner Brothers, earn your jobs. You're basically re-interviewing for your position. Like everybody is back on, like anyone can be fired at any given moment.
Actually, really quick, I know we're trying to wrap things up, but actually, really quickly, what's going to happen to that Green Lantern show?
It's going to happen.
That's not in production yet.
It has to be justified, just like everything else. No favors, like just because it was told. This is my
because that no favors line basically means nothing's guaranteed.
No, I mean, nothing. Even past announcements, past announcements.
But is that a bad thing though? Hold on,
everything has
is that
to
a
be
bad
justified.
thing though? Because remember before Warner Brothers had an issue of making promises on stuff that never got made. If Zaslav does the same thing, is that bad or is that smart business?
No, he's not saying any. He's not announcing anything. Everything's got to be justified. That means every single project that was even announced before, but if it's not filming yet, has to be justified.
Well, I heard.
Should they just reboot?
No.
No.
You're too far in the reboot. It would be a freaking disaster if you don't.
You're gonna have to pay out. You're gonna have to pay out all the cast. You have to pay out the directors, the actors, everybody.
They just have nothing. You would have to go silent for 5
Well,
years.
I think the first question that he would need to have answered is Green Lantern a TV show or is it a blockbuster movie?
I think a TV show. I think it was.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think the case could be made that Green Lantern as a character, as a DC IP, is maybe not as big as the Trinity, but is Trinity adjacent.
That's the thing I think of though, because I heard the budget would be estimated 100 million. But if Zaslav's not willing to waste that much money on HBO Max, he's probably like, "F that, make it a movie instead." But now
TV shows cost more than movies.
It makes me really concerned about Titans and Doom Patrol, and Doom Patrol probably has a lower budget. Titans does not.
I think both of them are almost over anyway.
Well, I talked to Nightwing and Red Hood this weekend as well.
And
I talked to both of them. I got pictures of both of them and met them and talked to them, and they're excited about season 4. So
do they think it's gonna be the last season?
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, it still could happen though, because it could be a surprise.
Look, I'm not saying that it can't be the last season. I'm just saying like they don't see it that way. They're actually getting more input into what they're doing. They're talking about taking it in different directions because they're recognizing what they didn't do well before, and they're making those corrections. And they seem to have a great plan.
I think they would announce it during the cancellations. Like a week ago, they would announce the cancellation of shows.
That's not getting canceled.
Aaron, your final thoughts on this topic before we move on to some other stuff. Rapid fire topics. People ask why I do rapid fire topics.
So what was
the main
the topic?
Takes too long.
What was the topic in like the main question? Like
with your final thoughts, like I'm upset about I want lots of DC content on HBO Max.
Okay.
So this is not great news for me, honestly. I think it needs to happen. It's not, but I'm not happy because
Here's the thing.
I want my HBO Max subscription to be justified.
Here's the thing. 35 million wants movie if they stuff for 35 million to be on HBO Max. Here's the thing. The HBO shows, great as they are, how much do you think this Game of Thrones episode is coming up? It's being
Those
how
are
much do you think?
expensive.
Yeah. Remember Game of Thrones was the talk of HBO when back in early 2011, 2012, there was talk of HBO not even succeeding, not even because of how much the budget was. So, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Green Lantern making it through. Yeah. The question is, here's what I would do. If I'm David Zaslav, I'm looking at what Greg Berlanti's doing with that, and I'm saying, rework this to fit into our movie continuity so it can tie into the movies.
Yes,
so no, it's not. Supposedly it's off its own little thing. I would retool it and be like, okay, you can still make this, but I need to look at this and retool it to fit into the movie continuity. That way, when we introduce Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan cinematically, these other Green Lanterns that show up, we will have already established them on a show.
I think if Batgirl,
thank you for the $5. Heard rumor 20th is the Snyderverse announcement. Fingers crossed.
True.
Well, listen, this is a paying. Whoa! Don't laugh at a paying customer. Where did you hear this rumor, Lewis?
We're not laughing
because the 18th was. You mean the 20th of May?
Yeah.
Lewis, thank you for the support. Listen, I hope it happens. I don't want to comment on stuff not happening because I want a conclusion. I honestly, you're the first, Lewis. You're the first person to tell me that the 20th. But I mean, we could fact check that 2 days, really.
Yeah.
So nothing would make me happier if on the 20th they announce something. But I honestly think that's hard pill to swallow after an event to announce something 2 days later. But okay. Thank you, Lewis.
I was saying HBO Max should. I think Zav's all smart here because I don't want. He's looking at this. Don't be like Netflix. Don't be like Netflix because HBO is probably going in that direction, even though they have better shows. But if they kept spending money on movies for their HBO Max service, they may end up like Netflix, you know. And Netflix.
And then we have to get Chris's final thoughts on this too. I'm sorry, Chris.
Well, here, just a quick thing, real quick. According to Variety, HBO is spending just under $20 million per episode for House of the Dragon season. So that's $5 million.
How many episodes?
That's about $5 million per episode. Yeah, $20 million per episode.
Wow. So, it's about 8 episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
140 million.
It's already.
It's saying between 100, between like 120 to 150. I think.
That's like a movie right there.
I think exceptions will be made on certain IPs because they're already established, like Game of Thrones and John Oliver and things like that. But for the most part, everything Devin said, everything Enoch said, that's exactly what I agree with. But people need to get rid of the bloat, trim the fat, worry about cinematics, try to focus on a little bit of content for your streaming. But everybody also needs to remember, this is not Warner Brothers, DC, Discovery. This is Warner Brothers Discovery. This guy is in control of all sorts of other shit. He's not just going to focus everything on DC. He's got to worry about CNN. He's got to worry about ESPN. Yeah. He's got to worry about Discovery Plus. He's got so much shit underneath him that DC. He's a businessman. Zaslav is a businessman. Okay. And he's kind of ruthless. And I think he's not stupid. You don't get where you are. A guy like him doesn't get where he's at without realizing what he's got. And he knows that he's got Wonder Woman. He's got Batman. He's got Superman in the chamber. He's not going to waste that. That he knows that's a big side of the bread that's getting buttered for him.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, but ESPN. Oh, Defender comes. ESPN's. It's Disney.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. That's
They have TNT.
He's got TNT. He's got AEW. That's what I was talking about. He's just.
Well, there's a lot to handle. There's a lot.
Got a lot to handle besides DC.
And Chris, what you just said right there, Chris, what you just said right there, that's why it doesn't matter what we think of David Zaslav.
Yeah.
Because we are not in the position to make the kind of decisions that a man has to make who is literally in the position of a multi-billion-dollar company.
He's
so
got
sick.
100,000
And look, I'm guilty of it
employees
myself, but
underneath
I got to change the way. Like I'm seriously thinking about changing the way that I approach everything, because you know what? My opinion about the way somebody deals with a multi-billion-dollar company doesn't matter. You know why? Because I've never run a multi-billion-dollar company.
Can you imagine having 100,000 employees underneath you? He's got 100,000 employees. He's got to worry about.
You know how much NBA pays to be on TNT? Around $600 million.
No, don't.
Saying,
I have an
saying,
article
like
ready.
our opinion. Like I hear people all the time. Well, I would have done this and I would have done that.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
literally
fun.
like okay.
Well, then why not even? I push back. You know, why do movie talk at all? That's what we're doing.
No, movie talk is fine. Speculation is fine. But when we start like acting like these people don't know what they're doing because I would do something different. I can say all day like this. You know, hey, this is what I would have done. That's fine.
Kathy Kennedy yesterday.
Oh,
in the article. No,
I want Enosh's opinion on this. Actually,
no, let me finish, because she is saying that.
Did someone say Kathleen Kennedy? I heard she's getting fired.
I thought she was hiding.
Before you go into this, Enosh.
I know I saw the article.
No, you don't know what I'm going to say though.
I know the article.
All right,
say what you got to say. Say it.
When she is saying that recasting doesn't work, and then we're looking forward to Obi-Wan. What is Obi-Wan? One of the best recasts ever. It just needs to be done. That is moronic. There is a big opportunity if done well. And that's right. There's the disconnect. And all they learned from Solo was, well, we got to do CGI de-age. They're not moving away from the OG characters. They're just going to CGI the hell out of them and use digital manipulation. And that is moronic.
I do agree.
I think maybe there might be a little bit too much of reading into that, because I don't understand how they would like. There's still a lot of hype around, you know, stuff like Donald Glover as you know, Lando, and I guess I don't know what the deal is with his series. Haven't heard anything.
Well,
about
they
that.
didn't mention it at all in the article, which seems like they're not doing it anymore potentially. I mean, we'll have to wait for Star Wars Celebration. But
yeah, but you know what? But even
odd.
then, they still mentioned that they're still going to do Ryan Johnson's, and you know, I'm sorry, but that ain't happening. So,
well, no, I'm just saying I have to agree with Max a little bit though, to where I think if your main takeaway from Solo is that recasting older characters doesn't work, I think that's a bit ridiculous, because
even
they recast roles for the prequels.
Even George Lucas got it right.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing Obi-Wan next week. I mean, Alden Ehrenreich was not the problem with Solo.
Nope,
he was not the issue with that movie.
It was management.
I don't think there was much of an issue with that movie at all. Actually,
no, I know, but I'm saying if you're going to blame the failure of that movie, Alden Ehrenreich is not the reason that movie failed.
No, and that's where I say Kathleen Kennedy needs to look at where the actual issues are that people didn't like Solo, because it's not that people didn't like Solo. A lot of people didn't go see Solo, and they listened to know-it-all YouTubers, right? They listen to know-it-all YouTubers. Don't go see Solo. It's going to be horrible. Kathleen Kennedy has ruined Star Wars. Look at Last Jedi. Last Jedi was woke. It was so
I boycotted
woke.
that movie. I boycotted
That's exactly how it went down. Though.
Max is
and you know what? And that's
fairness-
sad. And
in all
that's sad. That's sad, and that's why I'm better than you, Max. I'm just gonna own it. I'm just gonna own it. I'm better than you, Max, because you know what? I've been consistent. I've been consistent all along. You suck, Max. I'm good. Nanny boo boo. Stick your head in doo doo. I am swell. You are not.
Revenge of the Sith talk
You were
was
swell in
horrendous
there.
that night a few days ago.
I
have an
in all
article.
fairness, I did go see Solo, and I did not like it.
That's fine. That's
So,
fine.
I
I'm
saw
probably
Solo.
one in
I
that
thought
contingent
it
over
was
there.
okay. I will admit though, outside of the dumb,
I do have
I
an
don't like the
intriguing-
robot character, but other than that, I have warmed up to the movie.
That's
I
because
do
you're
have an
woke.
intriguing
You don't like it.
Geekosity article.
I know this article.
Why
Are
are
you
you
really
guys
gonna put a
see?
Geekosity article
Yes,
on here?
because
I can't wait to see it.
Oh,
I can't wait to
Absolutely.
see this, Max. I'm genuinely intrigued. What do we got?
No, listen. If this is accurate, does this mean a bigger role for Krasinski? Because if he actually did not sign for a 5th season of Jack Ryan,
No, that's true. Deadline reported that.
Yes.
That the 4th season of Jack Ryan's the final season. Yes, that
yeah,
is
so
a
here's
true
what
report. But
this
this is a leak.
this is very intriguing about the future. Maybe he is going to be.
Okay, Mike
Mr.
Zero, is it
Fantastic.
intriguing?
No, no.
That's
a low blow.
No, but
No,
that's
this
the
is where you
spin.
got-
That's
this
a
is where
spin, Max.
This is
He
where you
didn't
gotta
leave
be
Jack Ryan.
nuanced.
They were going to end it after
No,
season
that's
4
not
anyway.
Geekosity thing. It's
No,
not just a
but they said
Geekosity
in the
thing.
article that they wanted him for season 5, and he didn't want to do it.
It's not just a
That means
Geekosity. I know there's a lot of people speculating that's actually.
Okay.
Did he really leave?
Yes.
Yes,
I
that's
thought
a
they
real
announced
thing.
season 4 was the last season, and that's why he.
Well,
did.
they did announce it because if it's accurate, that's what I'm saying. Is it accurate that they want him for season 5 and he moved on to
What I find really intriguing about this, and what's very interesting in my opinion, and so forth, etc., is that he was in a movie that was a Marvel movie, and then he was in this series, etc. And then what they're going to do is it's probably going to be that he's in this because I made that up. Make sure to like and subscribe for future made up and completely stupid
Yeah, this is where
content.
you're being silly, Enosh.
I am,
because
but it's
there
ridiculous.
is no.
You know
there
he
is
voices
actually a
Superman.
One at a
conversation.
time.
There is an intriguing conversation to be there if Amazon did want him for season 5. He didn't want to do it, and where does he end up first? Is in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Well, I think
fantastic.
No,
That is significant. That's significant. It's not. That's not like Zero.
Let me
That's not like Zero.
Let me simplify it because here's the
Yeah.
line of thinking.
RG, I'm
Jack-
sick of your shit, man. No, I'm just.
I love you too, Chris. I love you too, Chris. No, but let me explain. The line of thinking from people is Jack Ryan season 4 is the last season. He's not directing the next A Quiet Place film. That's a spinoff. Someone else is. So his schedule would be free to do the Fantastic Four movie if he wanted to.
My schedule's
That's
free
the line.
too.
That's the line.
I
of
must be
thinking.
doing it.
I think they have a cast for the Fantastic
Come on,
Four.
you're being silly, Enosh. You can't ignore the things going on there. That if Amazon did want him to do it, he turned it down.
I
He's not
think-
doing
I
Quiet Place,
think-
and that he's in Doctor Strange.
Max,
that
Max,
means
you guys-
there's an opportunity for him to continue
I
with the
wanna
character.
get your
if he
guys'
Look,
wants.
I would love for him. Look, I have said I would love for him to be in Fantastic Four. Okay, I got no problem with him being in Fantastic Four. What I have a problem with, because look, the fans are going to get pissed if he's not in Fantastic Four. Everybody's going to
people
lose
think
their
it's a
crap,
surefire thing.
and they're going to be like, they promised us, they promised, and they didn't promise you crap. Okay,
You're
you
looking at
wanted
him at all,
something.
not just
You
those
wanted
two.
something, and they
taking
gave
this
you a little
whole-
taste. They
you're
gave you a little
taking this
taste, but there's
whole
nothing. Look,
way.
I want him as
I'm
bad
not
as everybody
convinced
else.
he's going. I'm not convinced he's.
I'm
Richards going
saying,
forward.
look at the facts there. If that's accurate, And
That's
I
not
wasn't-
facts, though. That's
Then
not
it-
facts.
if
Look
they
at the
wanted him for season
speculation.
5 and he didn't do it.
Look at the speculation.
Here's
It's a
what I
lot
think.
of
Here's-
inference.
Here's what I
Yeah,
think.
it's
guys.
not facts. It's a lot of, hey, I'm going to put A and B together because I think that they look like they look like a great coincidence.
Here's what I
That's
think,
speculation, and that's fine. And I'm all for it. Let's have fun and talk about John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love John in the movie. I loved him in Doctor Strange. It's great. But like correlation doesn't have to be there just because it's like that. Like, and I hope that they do cast him because I think it's a good fit. But
I'm not saying it's a
I have a
fact that he's
question
going
for
to
you guys.
continue.
I have
I'm
a question
saying
for all of you guys.
that if that is a fact that they want him for season 5 and then he turned it down and he's doing other things, that's significant.
Maybe he's got another project.
Yeah, he may have another project.
But come on.
Max,
Let's-
I have a
what's your
question for
take,
everybody.
Kevin?
I have a question for everybody here. Just one question. Okay, this year when Disney, do you think Disney or MCU Kevin Feige already has the Fantastic Four? All 4 members signed up already. You're just waiting to
They
announce
probably
them.
know by now.
Yeah,
They probably
Yeah,
I
they know.
agree. Yeah, and
I think
maybe
they know who they're going to cast a year before they even announce. the
No,
movie.
they don't know. They do it last minute. They literally do it 10 minutes before they start filming.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced John Krasinski is the Mr. Reed Richards going forward. He might be a different actor. As a
I heard the
variant.
crowd reactions, man. I think they're
I
going to
did
keep
too.
him.
They
should keep him, but I don't know that they will. I'm actually concerned about it myself because I think that they should keep him, but I'm not sure that it absolutely will be him.
I think it's a little fan service.
Can I give my opinion on that real quick?
No.
Okay.
I really am sick of your shit, RJ.
No pity from RJ.
What's your take?
Chris is tired of your crap, RJ.
I'm
so
just
no.
so sick, RJ. Shit. I want to hear. No, go ahead, RJ. I really do want to hear.
No,
Devin, listen. I'm asking Devin. Devin, what are your thoughts on those things with Amazon not going forward with Jack Ryan? What do you think there? It's not definite. It's not facts there. But if they were, there's something going on there potentially. There's room for him to go into the role.
Yeah, like earlier when I was saying that for scoopers, they just like take big swings at things. This is probably your lowest hanging fruit on that score. Like, yeah,
Okay.
it seems like there is no correlation. It is inference, but Jack Ryan is a big deal for Amazon, and it's a big property. It's a big famous Tom Clancy property. And Krasinski likes doing it. Like, he's spoken very highly about his experience as Jack Ryan. So season 4 being the last one, his cameo as Mr. Fantastic being as well received as it is, it's very easy for anyone who wants to play, I guess, the scoop game to connect those dots by saying that, he's leaving Jack Ryan in order to be Mr. Fantastic.
All right, RJ,
And
I'm
it's
sorry.
possible, but
go ahead, bro.
We'll find out.
No, I'm kind of on the same page as Devin. I was just going to connect this to Doctor Strange too. Again, I don't know if I believe this, but they're saying, I mean, just the way that film, that scene was constructed, it did feel like a last minute addition to the film. Something they kind of just put in. Oh, did he end up on the wrong stream? Hello?
You just can't help yourself, RJ. You've always got to hit something to trigger me, man.
I'm sorry.
That scene was brilliant.
Wait,
Everyone-
what am I doing here?
Yeah, what do you?
I don't know.
Are you on the wrong stream?
The long link.
No, I'm here.
Come in and make
I have
noise.
my stream. I have 20 minutes till my stream, but no. I
Oh,
can't.
that's why. Get out of here.
By the way,
Wait,
Josh is
he
streaming
having
too,
to
and he has
plug
a
his
great
shit.
comment.
That's why he came in here. Is that
What?
why you came in here, Matt?
What to remind my audience that I'm streaming?
No,
Yeah,
he
sure.
literally just came in to tell you he's got 20 minutes to kill before his stream, and he wants to spend that time with you.
I had to lay my kids down, so that required.
That's a nice thing, man.
You know.
That's like a nice
Well, no, yeah. Well,
moment.
just to get back on track to my opinion, which is the only opinion
God,
that
RJ,
matters here,
if
of
I could
course.
get a hold of you right now, I swear to God.
No, I'm kidding. It seems like the Krasinski edition in Doctor Strange 2 is very last minute. Something they kind of threw together because another actor
Thank you,
couldn't
RJ.
make it.
Thank you.
A writer from Variety said that Daniel Craig was going to be in the movie as Balder the Brave, but they ended up cutting that out, so they probably got Krasinski in at the last minute. Now that could mean one of two things. They knew Krasinski was popular amongst the fans, and they wanted to like throw fans a bone and say, "Hey, you got him as Mr. Fantastic for one scene. That's all you're getting." Or it can mean he was always their choice for Mr. Fantastic. They ended up filming it early, and they got him to come in for a little bit. I don't know. I will say if Jack Ryan's ending, and he's not directing the next Quiet Place film, that does free up his schedule.
no.
However,
How come every time RJ's talking, that's when the porn bots show up?
well, it's because I have a very soothing voice, of course.
The RJ bots.
But he does want to direct his dream movie for Paramount, which is like this dream project of his that he's been wanting to do for a while. You have to remember, he's not just an actor anymore. He's a very busy, prolific
Yeah,
director.
but didn't he? I really wanted his Quiet Place 3 directorial day. Like, I wanted that, and I guess he's not doing it now.
Well, no. The next Quiet Place film is not Quiet Place 3. It's a spinoff. So he'll come back for the third
Isn't it a
film, but they're
prequel?
making a
Isn't it a
spinoff right
prequel?
now. So I don't know. I think by the end of the year, this is just speculation, I think you will know who the Fantastic Four cast is and director. I strongly believe there's a high chance Bryce Dallas Howard will either direct the film or star as Sue Storm.
I already know because I've got an inside source. Listen, okay? Listen, no, really. Sue Storm is Alicia Silverstone. Matthew Lillard is playing the Human Torch. Ask Hina. She told me.
Chris, I told you that in confidence.
I agree with you, RJ. I think Bryce Dallas Howard. I think.
Does that mean William Shatner is going to be the thing?
No, William Sadler's actually going to be Reed Richards. Guess what the thing's going to be?
Okay, we might as well just can we just drop the whole
plays-
thing? Skeet Ulrich is going to be
Here we go.
He's going to be Doom, and
Who's playing the Thing?
So is Jamie Kennedy going to be in it too?
well, yeah, Jamie Kennedy is he's got a smaller role. He's got a smaller role. He's going to be playing that robot from the 60s.
What about
Remember that they
David
had?
Arquette?
He's going to be playing that robot guy, and
Danger Will
yeah.
Robinson.
David Arquette could play Dr. Doom.
No, remember the cartoon that they had that robot in the Fantastic Four cartoon. That's who Jamie Kennedy's playing.
Herbie.
I saw
His name's
both of them
Herbie.
this weekend too.
Yeah,
so.
Herbie.
What about Rose McGowan in the first movie?
Yes,
Max, I don't know how this member.
Well, this is
George Miller's back.
Yeah, this is
Max.
George Miller's new movie. It's about it's about a genie and a woman. The genie's played by Idris Elba. It seems to be a horror film. That'd be cool.
Oh, a genie.
George
That's
Miller's
awesome.
some interesting stuff.
I don't know how these member things work. They're popping up on my
Did
phone.
you
One
hear about this
for
crazy rumor
Vince
that
and one for
Did you
Drogo.
hear about this crazy rumor about Aladdin? If Aladdin had a sequel, that The Rock might replace Will Smith.
No, that's not true. That's not
I
true.
know.
That's not true.
All right. This is why I end up doing rapid fire topics like that, because we're setting the main topic. We can't get to the next ones. But
Well,
here
if
we
Eddie
go.
ever
Rapid
shut
fire
up, if Eddie would ever shut up, we might have a chance.
Actually, I want Enosh's take on this because he's the only one who hasn't commented on the trailer whatsoever. So everyone,
You
we're
Hulk
just gonna sit
CGI
inside-
sent superhero fans into a rage after getting our first look at. Oh yeah, so everyone's pissed off about the CGI.
Everyone's
That's
very
one
upset.
article, man.
No, actually,
I saw the
No,
like
no.
dislike ratio.
No, a lot of my friends
everybody's
are pissed
pissed
off
off.
too.
Not everybody's pissed off. How can you say everybody's pissed off?
A lot of my
Well,
friends. I didn't say
people
everyone.
angry. There are people saying that the CGI doesn't
Yeah,
look good, and
but
people are upset
everybody-
at the feminist stuff in the
They'll
trailer.
fix it in digital
100%.
effect.
You got to be careful not talking over each other, please. Okay, go ahead.
Who?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Everyone.
Oh, you want everyone to talk all at once?
Everyone.
All right, blah, 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 blah.
Well, you said you wanted to hear
Everybody
from
shut up.
Enosh.
Somebody say something.
Enosh. You said you wanted to hear from Enosh.
Well, I want to hear from Enosh, but he's not here.
Oh,
He might be
good
saving
job,
that for
Enosh.
his stream, you know.
Yeah, now we're talking about other people's streams. Thank you. All right. I didn't hear from Matt. Matt, what did you think of this?
I liked it.
What about the CGI?
It could be better.
I mean, the CGI could be better, but look, I ain't gonna lie. As a fan of Orphan Black, I find Tatiana Maslany in any form to be attractive. So
I personally think she's
I
the
mean-
best actress that Kevin Feige hired in the MCU. Period.
She's definitely
that
one of
good.
the best actors they've hired
Yeah.
ever. Yeah. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Oh,
She's a
wait.
really good. She's a really good actress. If you haven't seen Orphan Black, you are missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to finish it.
I mean,
go
in
ahead, Art.
regards to the CGI, it's not great, but here's the thing: TV budget that they have to space out. There's 3 CGI characters that we
Wait,
know of.
Here's the
and this is a
facts.
brand new model they've created.
I did
for
not-
the show,
and
so-
Disney are under budgets now too.
I did
it
not
looks
like.
No, it's not an
Titania.
issue of budget. This isn't. No.
Well,
Let me
no,
explain.
yes,
No,
yes, it is.
no.
It can't be. Yes, it can be. For TV, Disney Plus. What?
No.
No.
It's not
You
an
don't know
issue. It's not an issue of budget. The show has a $25 million per episode thing. This is about VFX companies being so far behind and
It can be
overworked in
both.
the industry.
Can it be both?
Visual effects artists are not treated very well in Hollywood. They're just not. COVID has put an immense amount of pressure and delays on visual effects. That's why they're not up to snuff as they should be right now.
Marcus, don't use that
I
term.
thought
You know
they
you're
just
trying to
acquired.
start shit.
Yeah, Marcus. I thought they just
It-
acquired.
It's not a
that
case
new
of budget.
visual
They're
effects
they're
company,
allocating
though.
the money they need to
Remember,
the
they had
show.
a
It's just the
year
fact
off
of the
in
VFX. And also
2020.
too, this trailer was probably cut months ago, and we're only just now getting it. Like the version that they have right now is probably going to be different from like what we saw in this trailer. I'm not saying it's going to be like
I
immensely
think
better,
it's
but I
a
think it
little
will
bit
be
of
a
both.
difference.
I think. Listen, if you don't consider RJ, come on, Netflix is cutting budgets. Zaslav,
Disney's not though. Disney's investing more money into streaming than ever.
No, but they're keeping their costs down for
But
these.
Disney does have money.
episodes,
Doesn't have,
too.
Disney.
This
not
is
in the
this
same
is it.
situation as
Let-
Netflix.
I don't
let's
think
go
this
around
is
the
a money
panel.
issue. This is not a
Let's-
money
well,
issue. This is
let's
a
go around the
VFX
panel.
artist issue.
It can be both. It can be both at the same time. Yes, VFX don't have enough time to release timely content.
Well, they
but,
overwork their VFX
but-
artists.
But, Devin, what do you think? Do you think it could be a combination of both? Look what's happening at Netflix. What Zaslav's saying and Disney with these series. A lot of series, you're gonna. I think I think the industry is showing they need to bring the budgets down because there's not an evergreen of new customers. Netflix has shown that. They've reached the plateau. They've reached the top of the mountain. They're like, there's no more new customers, and we're competing with the same customers. We got to cut budgets down across the board. That's my opinion.
What is the actual budget for She-Hulk then? Like, I don't know if like I don't know.
Million an episode,
It's 25 million across nine
episodes. So that's
Across
about.
nine, so I mean that's a hefty budget.
225
well, actually,
million.
sorry, 25 million per episode, 9 episodes.
225 million.
Okay.
225 million. But
I mean, that's
basically a movie, a large budget movie.
pretty much, yeah. Like, and I will say this: like after the level of backlash that it's had for its CGI, it's guaranteed that it's going to look better by the time it premieres. Like that's just how that happens.
Yeah, they can polish it. They can polish it by then.
There will be polish.
Yeah,
there will be polish.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's happened plenty of other times. Like
3 months away.
It happened to Moon
So
Knight.
for
It happened to Moon
clarification,
Knight.
I did the math. When you do 25 million times 9 per episode, the complete final budget is $225 million.
Aaron just said that.
Well,
Oh,
I
he
didn't
did?
need to calculate. I just know that. It's easy.
Okay, flex your
Ooh.
math brain. I
The hell,
suck at
Aaron?
math. I
What?
suck at
What? Look,
math.
Mega mind.
Never mind. I mean, like 200.
Well, Matt, what do you think of that? Is there consideration for budgets across the board, all streaming now, or is it just the special effects like RJ said?
I do think that like budgets in general are going to start to be scaled back at all major studios.
All streamings, yeah.
I think
Well, also because of lack of China as well. They're not going to rely on China to bring in box office revenue.
Yeah, but
or
regional
streaming revenue
issues
anymore.
with the war in Russia too, and China,
Ukraine,
yes.
yeah.
inflation hits everything, and it can hit the cost of a production too. So, like, I think you are going to start seeing some belt tightening in general.
And
But if there's one company that can afford to have looser belts than most, it's Disney.
And if Disney had to cut budgets, they're not cutting from the entertainment aspect. They're cutting from the amusement
They'll cut
park.
it from the parks. They already have. They've already dramatically cut budgets from
Yeah.
the parks. As I best friends with a Disney adult who is psychotic and obsessive about what's going on at the parks, I know very well that Chapek has angered many Disney people over what he's done with the parks. So
Absolutely, yeah. Gracia, you're saying, I'm guessing it already looks way better today. The trailer was cut and tested weeks ago. Many more leaks left to keep baking. This show is 3 months away as of
The
yesterday.
Moon Knight had
so-
the same situation. The Moon Knight had the same situation.
Matt, are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I was
listening.
wasn't too sure if I had a chance to talk or not.
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
think what do you think about the argument that I tend to think it's across the board. I think the Netflix was a warning sign. I think lots of people are taking the Netflix cut seriously. Zaslav, you've always been consistent saying Zaslav's a budget cutter, and I don't think Disney's immune to it. I think Disney also. I think it's a combination of getting that it shows
I still
out
think
faster.
it's VFX artists.
No,
They're just
let me
being
finish,
overworked.
RJ. It's a combination of getting the product out faster with cheaper CGI and also budgetary. I think that's a factor to me. Go ahead. I apologize, RJ, but go ahead, Matt.
Okay, so here's what your guys aren't considering is Disney has a quality over quantity approach.
Do they?
Because they know which ones of their brands are going to keep people there. They know that fans want Star Wars. They also want to invest money into Star Wars because they want that to be the investment to build up long-term fan base that will then go to the parks or buy merch or whatever. Same with Marvel. They know that those are successful, so they're going to invest money into that. Disney has not gone the route of Netflix or, Discovery even, and started just churning out content that is just like buying up everything and anything that they can. In the case of Discovery, again, it's just low budget, reality TV based nonsense. It's like you can shoot an entire season of Property Brothers for probably like $3 million. It's just the way those shows are, and they all make a lot of money, but they're just made for super cheap. So, and the thing with Netflix though, is they went out and they bought up animation, they bought up live action, they bought up horror and documentary. I mean, they were spending money. They'll drop like 8 movies in a day and they don't market it at all, but it goes out to their audience and then they just wait to see what happens. And I mean, there's an article on Variety I just saw the headline for saying apparently they've been like focus testing their content now for months. So their situation is that they were anticipating a large subscriber boost of 2.5 million new subs but they actually lost 200,000, which means that they probably lost somewhere around 2.7 million. So they are tightening up a little bit because their stock prices are taking a hit. But once the gaming division comes up, it's going to be fine. That stock will increase again. And a lot of it is also, RJ's correct, where VFX companies are feeling the crunch. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home did update its CG while the film was in theaters.
Yeah, up until the Blu-ray release.
The last minute it gets paused the last minute.
Well, it's also the impact of COVID. COVID kind of like has really impacted like how far behind they are as well.
Even WandaVision had a CG update after the show was over, you know, and this stuff happens. VFX artists. I mean, like, look, man. Remember,
was true? They really did that to WandaVision afterwards?
Yeah.
Rumor.
Yeah. No, it happened. It happened. They just updated something very quickly, like at the end of it. But do you remember when Life of Pi came out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Life of Pi won Best Visual Effects at the Oscars, and there was the team for that company had literally just closed their doors because they were kind of forced to shut down because of how the studios have been impacting these VFX companies. And they won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, and they were effectively out of business. And people were protesting outside of the Oscars that year so that VFX artists could get more recognition. So there's a big problem with the VFX market right now in regards to that. And since everything is so VFX heavy, it's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of stuff. Now, what I will say is, with the implication of the volume using like the Unreal 4 engine, now probably the Unreal 5 engine, they can do a lot of this stuff early, and it will cut down on production time as well as probably the overall cost.
What the hell's going on right now on Twitter?
Who's fighting on Twitter?
Everyone. Twitter's fighting Twitter.
out.
Okay, well let's not get involved.
Let's get involved.
Yeah, I want to get involved.
Let's do some drama on here.
I'm sorry.
Time to make some content out of this.
Yeah, I want some content, man.
Kill screen.
No. If it's getting too aggressive, I don't want to.
All right, I'm gonna go over to my stream. I gotta prep up for 5 minutes. So if you guys want to hear about how Zaslav killed the Snyderverse, check me out.
Well, yeah, they're turning on too, aren't they?
Wow.
I just said,
can we pull up Matt's thumbnail real quick? I want to show it real quick.
Let's see it.
I know exactly what he's doing.
I'll get it.
I'm just going to do one final topic because this is an interesting one.
Go ahead.
No, bring up your thing first. Though.
Oh, okay. This is Matt's thumbnail for tonight. Oh my god. Yeah, that's his thumbnail for tonight. Yes.
That's going to trigger stuff, folks.
Oh my god.
That's just the opposite side.
I like it.
It's fake news.
I can't.
My favorite one is still that human scoopapede one. It was funny as hell.
the human
scoopapede.
That was disgusting.
That was really funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was.
All right, this is an interesting topic.
Just one little quick point on the subject of the VFX studios right now. Just going over, I was reading this Defector article about a TV writer who was offering some insight as to why everything's kind of rough, and he makes a good point: is the fact that there are more TV shows in production right now than at any other point in history, and there is a huge reliance on a lot of those TV shows to have a very heavy reliance on CGI and VFX, and especially if you're looking at like Disney. All of those Marvel shows have a big reliance on VFX, and that's just Disney alone. We're not even talking about what Amazon was doing with Wheel of Time and what they're doing with Lord of the Rings, which has a psychotically huge budget for that show. And, HBO with House of the Dragon and Peacemaker and all these, there's a lot of TV shows out right now across all of these streaming services, Picard and Halo and Discovery or Strange New Worlds. And all of it is super, super CGI heavy. So yeah, these studios are being pushed, not just because of
Amazon
all of that, but because there's just an incredible boom of production happening right now.
Amazon's the one can get away with most of it because Amazon's a juggernaut compared to all this other, even more of a juggernaut to Disney.
All right. Well, let's get to this last
hey,
topic.
Max, when I pass away, you can use my likeness.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Fifth and final main topic today. Chris, what is our fifth topic today?
This comes from Peruvian Legend.
This video is
Hey,
really laggy.
Cambia crew. Love the show. Viewer since AMC Movie Talk days. So reports have come out regarding a deal struck between Marvel and the
What do you say, RJ? Can you hear okay?
No, I was saying it's lagging really bad in the video.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's
and
fine.
the
Just keep
adventure.
playing. Maybe
This
it'll
deal
sort itself
includes
out.
the rights to use the name and likeness of the legendary Stan Lee. I don't know, but I'd rather just have Lee's name just being referenced somehow in the movies and not have him digitized into the movies. What are your guys' thoughts?
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in. And yeah, look, when Stan Lee passed away, not only did we lose a living legend and all that kind of stuff, we also lost, as a totally secondary thing, not nearly as important, but a special little thing about the tradition of going to a Marvel movie, which was everybody was always looking forward to, what's the Stan Lee cameo going to be? And getting those little cameos. And I remember it was after Stan Lee passed away, Spider-Man Into the Snyderverse came out. And it has a wonderful Stan Lee cameo in Into the Spider-Verse. And I remember you could hear people sniffling in the theaters when his thing came on, and that was great. And a lot of people have been asking the question, well, who's going to be the next one? Like maybe, you have maybe Robert Downey Jr. will make a quick cameo in every single movie from now on. It's like, no. That was for Stan Lee. Well, they might be coming back now. This comes to us from the folks over at the Hollywood Reporter, who write the following. In a unique deal, Stan Lee, the beloved co-creator of Spider-Man, Avengers, and Hulk, who died in 2018, is returning to Marvel Studios. Marvel has signed a 20-year deal with Stan Lee Universe, a venture between Genius Brands International and POW Entertainment, to license the name and likeness of Stan Lee for use in future feature films and television productions, as well as Disney theme parks, various experiences, and merchandising. The audience revered Stan, and if it's done with taste and class and respectful to who he was, it will be welcome, says Hayward. He is a beloved personality, and long after you and I are gone, he will remain the essence of Marvel, said Andy Hayward, chairman.
What do you guys think John's going to get? My initial thoughts is I think it was great while he was alive. This is a bit too much for me, personally. Before we go further, what's your thoughts before we hear John? Devin? I don't know if I want to see a CG Stan Lee. It's going to lose its magic, and I might be a potential mistake.
I don't know what to make of this. This whole Stan Lee thing, the deal that Disney struck with his, I guess his, what do you call it? His estate, his company, to like get the rights to his likeness.
I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm against it. I saw how they abused this man while he was still alive. They milked him for everything he had, and now they're milking him in death.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you, Chris. Yeah.
Devin,
I just don't know what the intent's for. Like, what is this going to be really used for?
Money.
That's the question. Like, I know. Well, I mean, like, is it for theme
I don't
parks?
think it's going to make them any extra money.
Yeah, it's not going to make them money, but is this for theme parks? Is this for museums? Is this for like digitizing?
It sounds like it's going to be for anything. Like, yes, theme parks, yes, museums, yes, movies, yes,
the cameos.
Stan Lee Crunch cereal.
Whatever else, hold on, though. Would they really do that? Would they really like?
Yeah, they would.
Stan Lee put him in the movies again.
That'd be so awkward, man. That'd be so weird.
Stan Lee was a incredible personality. He was a huge, larger than life character, and eventually he's gonna get that biopic, and hopefully it'll be a Mark Maron led biopic. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. But he had an incredible life. There are some hilarious stories of his exploits, and once all of that becomes public knowledge via biopic, I really think that you're going to see a hell of a lot more interest in Stan Lee the character, especially with the Marvel brand being what it is. Like, he's going to be in those Disney parks. You're going to hear "Hiya, true believers" and all that shit whenever you walk into like a Disney store or a Marvel section of a Disney store or whatever. You're going to get all of that brand. Like, he was a branding machine. I have so you can't see it. I have Excelsior tattooed on my arm. Like,
really, Bradley?
He was.
I mean, listen. If this means that Disney, because what I've heard, this is what I've heard. I've heard that Marvel Studios have been really eager to make a Stan Lee biopic. They really want to make a movie about the life of Stan Lee. That's something that's always interested them in doing, to like branch out and make that kind of movie, like make a documentary, make a biopic. If that's what this leads to, that could be interesting. I wouldn't mind that. But like resurrecting the man with
I
visual
would
effects to
watch.
put him in these movies is like, oh, that's Stan Lee. He's back.
I would watch a movie
That's just
biopic
weird.
or even a mini series.
Yeah.
About Stan Lee, absolutely, man. But all this other
100%.
stuff, you know, here are our new
All right.
Stan Lee tube
Well,
socks, Stan Lee
any-
Crunch.
Anyone
you
else
know?
want to comment on this before we hear? I just want to hear John's take. We're not going to watch the whole video. Enosh, Eddie.
I think it's crap. Like, you know, don't. I have a
Sometimes
problem.
you let the man rest.
Like, we don't need that to come back for every movie, or to have him digitally inserted, because you're going to know he's not there. And I don't know, but at the same
later
time,
when you rewatch the movies, right, Enosh? You get to
What's
go, hey,
that?
remember when? Plus, you get the nostalgia when you rewatch the old movies, where you get to say,
Yeah,
"Hey, man,
but look-
remember when Stan Lee used to do cameos in here?"
So I'm going to say that, but then I'm going to be like totally hypocritical on it too, and I'm going to turn the corner on it, and I'm going to say Stan Lee loved doing that. That was something that Stan Lee loved doing. So the thing is like, you know,
Well, it makes him immortal in a sense too.
It does.
He's
It
already
does.
immortal.
And
Well, I know
like,
he is,
yeah,
but I'm
but
just
I mean,
saying.
yeah, but the thing is that you know, Stan Lee and Marvel are synonymous, and so I mean, look, I don't know what supposedly happened, as far as when he was alive or whatever, but he seemed pretty comfortable with
You know what? I
with
remember.
everything. I mean,
I'm remembering,
he seemed
I'm remembering something while he was still alive. I don't mean to interrupt you,
yeah,
Josh,
Brian.
but there was something that said that he was they were going to do something so he would be there even when he was gone, while he was still alive. Hey, Brian. But I remember in movie talk they said we were doing, like when they were filming his last few cameos for the end game and stuff. They said, we're not only filming these cameos, we're doing something else that he can maintain cameos for a long time. So I don't know if it's a reference to this or just digitally copying his image and everything, but maybe that's what they meant. But he was also, I don't know if he was completely there at the end also. They seemed like he had to coach him through his lines.
So
and he was
yeah,
kind of,
well, part of look, part of me says let it go, let him be the immortal Stan Lee, and just let him be peaceful, rest in peace, and not bring him up for everything. And then part of me goes, well, you know what? If his estate is fine with it, and they know him better than anyone, right? They're going to know his wishes, and they know what he loved, and they know what he loved doing. And if you want to immortalize him there, then great. You know what? Something that I will comment on that I feel more strongly about is what Anthony Beltre is bringing up, and that's Christopher Reeve. I think that they gotta let that go. For God's sake,
You
please.
know they're gonna do it though. You know.
Well,
they will.
that's what they're saying. That's what the. Did you read that article?
Which one?
The article about Christopher Reeve.
I did not read that.
In the Hollywood Reporter, that apparently they made some kind of deal with his estate to be able to use his likeness and image. Now I'm hoping that that's just like in
archives, or like
archives and stuff like that.
museums, yeah.
But I swear to God, listen, Superman and Lois, the show. All respect to Tyler Hoechlin, all respect to that. I do not. I have fallen off that wagon. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I'm fine with Superman showing up in certain things as the big blue Boy Scout, because that's a version of who he is. Did you see that new phone game, the little downloadable? I think it's that it's like all the Warner Brothers characters.
Oh,
can fight each other and
multiverses.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, but Superman shows up in that as like the stereotypical.
Well, he's voiced by George Newbern too.
Yeah, I'm Superman, right? Okay, and that's fine for a certain thing, and I love Christopher Reeve, but Christopher Reeve was a moment in time that, for God's sake, is not where we're at in 2022. And as much as I love Christopher Reeve, I do not, as a Superman fan, want to see a return to that. And it's going backwards. It's going backwards. And I'm sorry, but if that's what Warner Brothers is going to give me is nothing moving forward or advancing the character or making the character interesting, and you think that that's the way to go, I'm out. I'm a DC fan. I will just be the old DC fan who enjoys what I enjoyed, just like the old guys enjoyed George Reeves till they died. I guess I'll just enjoy what I enjoy till I die. But I'm going to have a very hard time if they start trying to throw that stuff, because I've talked about people who've talked about just like superimposing Christopher Reeve's face over actors and just making that Superman. Other people can play the role. And so I love Stan Lee. I love Christopher Reeve.
It'd be the death of Superman.
But it'd be done. It'd be done because then there's no advancement.
Nobody would give a rat's ass anymore. Like,
Well,
I wouldn't care.
Let's see what John Campia says, and then I have to take the dogs out.
Well, yeah, I want to.
I gotta go. I got a stream start. I got a stream starting.
Yeah, maybe we should end it like after this.
And it's a broad deal. All right. Bottom line, Disney now has the rights to the likeness, digitalization, old recordings, old images, audio, all that kind of stuff of Stan Lee that they are now free to use in feature films, movies, theme parks, and merchandising. Let's start with the small stuff and build up to the obvious one. Do I want to be able to go to Disneyland? Which I don't go to Disneyland anymore, but if I did, would I want to buy myself a Stan Lee plushie? Maybe. Would I want one of these Indiana Jones Funko Pops, but a brand new Stan Lee kind of thing, like a big fun?
Heckin' yeah.
Absolutely. So I love that part of the deal. And by the way, let me just mention here in the article itself, it does say it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to start doing CGI Stan Lee as doing cameos in the movies. Necessarily. But it totally opens the door that they can. So let's just jump to the big question here. How do we feel about the idea of a digitalized or CGI Stan Lee making future cameos in MCU movies? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little torn. I'm a little bit torn. Because on the one hand, Stan Lee isn't with us anymore. The specialness of the actual man himself appearing in these movies is what was so special about it. Not a drawn picture of the man, not old footage of the man on a TV, but Stan Lee himself went down to set and he was in this movie and we're actually seeing him there. And he's not with us anymore. And regardless of what you do with CGI, whatever, that's not Stan Lee. You did, you got a piece of software and you rendered a thing out that looks like Stan Lee, but it's not Stan Lee. And so part of me honestly feels a little icky about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that said, there's the other half of my brain, which is it is such a beloved thing that number one, he loved doing.
Yeah.
And number
that's
two,
true.
the audience loved seeing. And we're not talking about Stan Lee starring in the next Avenger. We're talking about quick cameo appearances.
Yeah.
Is there something to be said? Would Stan himself love the idea that he continues to appear in Marvel movies even after he's gone? I have a feeling there's something
probably
in Stanley would have kind of
It's
liked
possible.
that idea,
That's a
that he
good
would
point.
continue.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
think it's
point.
enough to watch him. That's interesting. Yeah, I kind of feel that Stanley might be. I mean, we don't know him for sure, but
I'd be more okay
You
with.
might have liked it actually, you know.
I like Stan Lee more than Christopher Reeve, though. Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah.
that I would be. No way.
I'd be pissed.
Sorry.
I'd be pissed.
Especially because Christopher Reeve himself said, other people will come. I am here for this time and this time only. Other people will come and play the role, and we will pass
RJ,
it
I
off
gotta
to them.
take the dogs out. I'll be back. Okay.
Stanley's a totally
No, I
different
mean, like I
group
said,
in the
I
movie.
just wanted to ask Enoch.
I am going to go. I love you guys. Enosh, I'll be on
We're
your stream a little
ending
bit.
anyway.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we're
jump
about
over
to
to
end it.
Nats
This
real
one-
quick and stir up
We're
some shit.
just so you know, I'm not going super late tonight because I got to get up in
All
the
right.
morning.
Yeah. Well, Enoch, I'll ask you the big question because you were gone when we were talking about it.
Okay.
Did you see the She-Hulk trailer and what did you think?
I did see the She-Hulk
What'd you think?
trailer. I loved it, except for I am done with Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk.
Wait,
I'm
so
just
you loved
over it.
Wait, hold on. You did like
I love
it.
her. I love her. I
What
got
about-
no problem
what'd
with
you
the
think of the
theme and the
CGI?
feeling of it, and I like all that stuff. I'm done with whatever the Hulk is now, because that is, it doesn't even feel like Professor Hulk. It just feels like bland vanilla Hulk. Might as well paint him a yellowish white and just call him Vanilla Hulk, because it is boring. It is god awful boring. You know, Mark Ruffalo playing Bruce Banner is one thing, but I don't believe that Hulk at all. I'm sorry, it is annoying as hell.
I mean, that's kind of the Hulk's journey, though. Like, he eventually becomes that dude.
It's just, it's bad.
It's limited.
It's bad.
It's limited because he's universal.
Well, because I wanted to ask him, but you liked the trailer overall? You liked everything else?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, I was just asking because a lot of people seem to really hate the CGI and a lot like the way the character looked. Did you
RJ, what have I been saying though? I'm at a point where if I like something, everybody else hates it, and if everybody hates it, I pretty much like it, and everybody lets me know.
What you doing here?
Everybody
Nicotina?
lets me know.
Man, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just kind of done with it.
What's up?
What's up, Nicotina?
What's up? Are you giving a sermon right now?
No, he asked me a question.
Yeah, I asked him what he thought of the She-Hulk trailer. He actually liked it.
Oh, the She-Hulk trailer, really?
Then he mentioned that other people didn't like it, and I just said, well, you know, I'm just at a point where it's like, if I like something, everybody's going to hate it, and if I hate something, everybody's going to love it. So,
well,
can't
I
please
mean,
everybody.
at the end of the day, it's you like what you like, and that's just how it is. I mean, and that's what I was trying to say today. I was like, you know, with everyone being, you know, all been out of shape over everything, it's kind of like, dude, if you're a fan, like whatever you're a fan of, just be a passionate fan about what you're a fan of. And that's it. Who gives a fuck what everyone else thinks?
Exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
Hey, I haven't been on a stream with you to tell you, but hey, great job on Justice League.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah, dude. Seriously, hats off.
We talked about it a couple times on the channel.
That
but
actually, it sucks too, because like, you know, like watching it now, I mean, like there were some things that I probably would have like changed or like, you know, made better. But
the director's plight.
Yeah, well, I like
always.
The next one will be a little bit better, I think. And we had to. I mean, we were down on the wire. I mean, like I literally like got it over to Dawson so you can load it onto the channel at like 11:30 his time. You know what I mean? And we only had a few hours left. I was just like, I was freaking out because you know he has the access to upload videos onto it. So I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I was literally editing it down the last few minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah. So what do you think of the She-Hulk trailer, Andre?
I thought it sucked. But I mean, like, you know, it's.
Well, did you like the CGI? Yes or no?
Well, it's unfinished, obviously. There's no possible way that's finished CGI.
No,
I mean,
it's 3 months out. Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention, I mean, we already heard WB having to push their shit out because their CGI is not done yet. So I would imagine, you know, the same studios are working with, you know, on their product as well, or not running into the same problem. So it would make sense that, you know, they're showing you a trailer, but yeah, the CGI, like if the CGI, if that was the final product, then that would be like a huge step down for Disney and the MCU. Kind of like, whoa, what happened here? But I don't think that's the case. Yeah. I think the narrative and the story that was presented, I think is a little stupid. But I mean, I guess you can't always have every show be serious and action packed and have like a compelling story. You know, they want to change it up and have a little bit of.
Well, the people want to know for
what?
Nicotina and Enosh thoughts on this image.
It's fucking dumb.
Take me home tonight.
It's just kind of all they did was like she, you know, picked him up or whatever, and then just like took her and digitally made her bigger. They're just like, all right, let's go. Yeah, I don't know. It just looks weird. But you know,
oh,
once
you're
it's
muted,
done,
Enosh, you're muted.
Yeah, you muted Enosh.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
I did.
Talk about bringing corny back.
RJ is the CGI stand-in for that shot. So
yeah,
there
he is.
Wait, for who? The guy
for
or
She-Hulk.
her?
For She-Hulk.
Oh no, I'm
the
not
CGI. You were the CGI stand-in.
The CGI.
The CGI.
The
CGI. I didn't even mean to say that, but it works.
Well, actually, did you guys know there's a controversy over this image? People in the fandom Menace were really upset by
Oh
this.
God!
Carrying a guy.
Like the take is that they're like emasculating men.
I don't know about
it's
that,
a day that ends in Y, so obviously they have a problem with it.
They're
Like Jeremy made a car video, and he said that was like the dumbest thing he's ever seen.
they're really gonna hate the show She-Hulk. She's the one. She's gonna be the one Disney Plus show they're gonna talk for months.
No,
and
that's
months.
Miss Marvel. That's Miss Marvel.
No,
That's
She-Hulk is more of a
Yeah.
feminist.
I bet it's going to be great.
Probably.
Miss Marvel's back.
It'll probably be fine. It'll
The
probably
next
be
3
just
months,
fine.
these next 3 months, it's gonna be Miss Marvel, Jane Foster, Mighty Thor, and then She-Hulk.
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be yeah.
Yeah, but that's it, guys. I think we're gonna end the show because I know people want to go live and stuff and
Yeah,
you know
I'm going
have
live
fun.
there,
So.
so.
Thank y'all for watching MME tonight. Everyone, make sure to go sub to everybody and peace the heck out, everyone.